Morning, everyone. I'm Bondar JR, also known as the Silver Wolf. Also simply known most days as Ron. Should have taken that plate downstairs, but appreciate you guys being here. Somehow my camera got messed up, but Jerry Can, Scimitar, Kimon, sethgstewart. Good to see all you guys. Appreciate you being here. Today's mining event day. Scimitar with the 10 stream streak. Appreciate you, buddy. I didn't see you in the stream yesterday. Maybe you were just being quiet. I'm glad you're feeling better. That is a huge load off. I'm really glad you're feeling better. So, really glad you're feeling better. There is another land stream, or lot stream, let's call it. But it has not completed uploading to YouTube yet. It has been loading for almost 12 hours. I think it's 25 minutes. I think 9 minutes of me talking, which you guys will probably not enjoy. You guys get enough of that already. But pretty much answering a bunch of questions. And then depression, sleep, woke up at midnight. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. I hate that. But yeah, hopefully that'll get better. Yeah, probably going to be a bit, but let me know if there's anything I can do to help. But yeah, so once that gets uploaded, like I said, I think it's at 91%. So once that gets uploaded, I'll link it out in the Discord. So, and after I make it non-private, I always put it up private first so that I can make sure I didn't really screw something up. Of course, it's been 12 hours loading it, so I think it's done. If it's screwed up, it's gonna have to stay screwed up. So, so anyway, there's that. Already working on my second cup of coffee. So there is that. Don't have the music going. Let's get the music on. Maybe it's just a long runner. I don't hear the music. I started it, but yeah, I'm not hearing the music. Why am I not hearing the music? It's not muted. Are you guys hearing the music? Yeah, it looks like you guys might be hearing the music. Well, I wonder why I'm not. I'm not because my headset shut off. Some days, it'd be better if I went deaf. So trial date set for November 2026. Holy shit. Well, that's ridiculous. I'm sorry to hear that, Scimitar. Oh, for crap's sake. They take forever in America to get trials. It is ridiculous. I am so sorry to hear that. Like, once again, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. Unfortunately, I don't have any judges in my pocket, or I'd call and see if we could get that moved up, but I'm not the judge type. So, yeah. Yeah. And actually, all my calls to Elon Musk have also gone unanswered. So, yeah, so that's probably wouldn't, not that that would help in this case, but yeah, so. Well, I guess at least it's set. So are they able to delay that anymore, or is that kind of set in stone? I know a lot of times the defense will try to do a bunch of crappy things to delay stuff, which is kind of frustrating to say the least. What am I looking for? I need a different ship. Different ship. Okay. Well, I hope not. I hope they can't. Because that would suck. Alright. So if anybody is in the in-game channel, needs an invite, let me know. I'm gonna invite Scimitar here in just a second when I actually get on the right character. XD, good to see you, buddy. Let me get you a shout out. I got Scimitar. I got Zarkan. I got Mako. So yeah, let me know if anybody else. Konar, do you want to join us? I'll send you an invite. Marching band refused to yield. Do you know what was the deal? Last one is loading up. No worries. There he is. I see him coming in. Try to keep from inviting him to the chat channel. Just ignore any chat channel invites you get from me. So, Scimitar, I'm going to promote you to Wing Commander. Wing Commander. Nope. Reagan's already out here. No rats. Jack Fash sat on a candlestick cause devil is the final only friend. Oh, here we go. No angel born in hell. Alright. So, XD, let me get you a shout out. Sorry about that. Zymor, how are you? You're welcome to join us for our mining event. We are in a fabulous system of Upine. Which is in Galente space, so you need to have at least a semi-nice relationship with them. I'm not getting any closer. You know what? Let's just stop here. We'll just mine. Word was spoken. SpongeyJon, good to see you, buddy. I'm half here. Only half. If you're not following XD, please give XD a follow. Also, SpongeyJon. I'm probably going to have a timeout on this one. 37 seconds. 37 seconds. Pretty awesome there. So glad that they were worried about those 37 seconds. I said stop. Has it been 37 seconds? No, it hasn't. It's only been 30. I had to treat myself to an ambulance ride last night. Whoa. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That's no fun. They're also super expensive. If you guys aren't following SpongeyJon, give SpongeyJon a follow as well. I'm sorry to hear that, Spongy. That is, not ideal. Not ideal, we'll say. Let's say not ideal. I was trying to think of what descriptive adjective I wanted to use there, but not ideal, I think, is what I'll go with. Not ideal. Not expensive for me. Live in Canada. Oh, there you go. One of the few good things these days. Yeah, in America, ambulance ride will put you in the poorhouse. You have to mortgage your house. He said it's actually it's better to die rather than take an ambulance ride, but I don't know about that. So, guess it depends on where you are in your walk with the Lord. So, but yes. But yeah. So yeah, well, good thing for Canada. Yeah, that's one. That is a nice one up there in Canada. With you guys don't have the drug problem, the drug prices problem, and the all that. Now, how easy is it for you to get, like, if you needed an MRI? Like, I can get an MRI in America. I can get an MRI very easily as long as I have an arm I'm willing to sell. So, Dude Vince, what's up, buddy? I had heard that some of those, because of the not having globalized medical care, that's they don't buy as many of the devices. So yeah, some do pay for ambulance, but since I'm a vet, things are pretty much covered. Well, that's even better. So Nick Crush, $300 for an MRI in Australia. There you go. Yeah, I think that's what we paid here in the Philippines, was about that. So yeah, just got done killing people in Eve. You? Yeah, we're out here mining. That's my go-to. So yeah, that's my go-to. But yeah, here in the Philippines, I was really shocked at how easy we were able to get an MRI. So, and it wasn't expensive, not compared to America. MRI in America is like, I don't know, 15 grand, 30 grand. It's ridiculous, ridiculous. Especially if you don't have insurance. If you have insurance, then you just pay your deductible. But still, I had a back problem here years ago, and they had to do an MRI on it, and I think it ate up my whole deductible for the one MRI for the family for the year. So yeah, his stream pixelated for everyone else. The one problem in Canada, since healthcare is nearly total government, the government doesn't pay the trained professionals enough. So most of our best doctors, they go for elsewhere. Yeah. It was. Okay, thanks, Nick Crush. Sorry about that, Dude Vince. Not sure why. Maybe my bandwidth had dropped. If it is, you might try to refresh it now. Okay, cool. Cool. Keep an eye on it. Let me know if it gets worse again. Yeah, and I could see that. Yeah, medical professionals in America make top dollar, so we get them from all over the world, which also causes kind of a problem because a lot of times you can't understand what they're saying. So, because their accents are so thick. But it does demand the highest quality people, so that's always good. And to find the passage back to the place I was before. We actually have a lot of Filipinos that are in America. I think they said some ungodly number. Like 40% of our nurses are Filipino nurses. Philippines trains them for us, then we ship them in. And that is kind of, besides wives, that is the next highest import segment for Filipinos. So. Wives is still number one, but which goes without saying. Wow. Stop, 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 stop. Alright, we don't need all these. Now we got a group out here. So yeah, if you guys want to join us for mining, we are out here in belt 7-7, 7 and 7. Used to be my drink way back in Ufine. So yeah, if you're in the in-game channel, you want to invite, throw an X out there or whatever, get my attention, and we'll get you invited. But we are out here doing some regular mining, taking a break from the event, from the competition, from the ganking, from the everything. So yeah, just gonna take an easy day today. Easy day today. Easy day today. But yeah, there is something to be said for globalized. But I think that's also, unfortunately, because we do pay our medical professionals so high, and the drug companies are in control in America. That's one of the reasons why they're not able to actually switch us to something like globalized healthcare, because they're getting paid way too much. So the drug manufacturers especially, which is ridiculous. And what they're charging now for insulin for people that are diabetic is outrageous. So I think our new president has helped out with that a little bit, got that one down. But there's half a dozen drugs that are like that, where they're just price gouging. And one of the other ones I've seen, especially in America, is they're not cancer drugs. Yep, they're not keen on curing anything. They don't want to cure anything. You don't make any money from a cure. You only make money from treating it, which is just morally wrong. But once you get into discussing morality, then that's a whole different issue. So yeah, government and morality, that's a oxymoron. Government intelligence, I think that's an oxymoron, right? But yes, when it comes to money, morality goes right out the window, which is wrong. Never did for me. And I worked for the same company for 25 years. It wasn't definitely not the most profitable job I could have had, but I made a good living. I raised 2 children, supported 2 wives, not at the same time. But yes, welcome to capitalism. Exactly. Yeah, as long as the almighty dollar is in charge, that's what's going to happen. So, and they say, I think in America, we talked about this before, but in America, yeah, the number, I think drug companies is like number 2 business. If you want to start your own business, a drug company is like number 2 most profitable business in America. Number 1, of course, is the casinos, because the house always wins. And then number 2 is the drug company, drug manufacturer, pharmaceuticals. And I think number 3 was credit card company. So yeah, another one where they're kind of taking advantage of their fellow man. So yeah, and insurance. Yep, insurance is also another big scam. So I believe most cancers could be cured by now, but then someone would get a pay cut. Yep. In my experience, in my 60 years on this planet, morality is directly opposed to how much money one has. Yep. Money goes up, morality goes down. I agree with that. I agree with that 90%. Because I've made a very good living, and it had the opposite effect with me. So I made 6 figures, and which was probably still not compared. I was still considered middle tier, but yes, and but like I said, I was able to raise 2 kids and support 2 wives. Supported both of them at the same time for a while with the child support, but yeah, and I was able to retire at 57. So I'm not rich by any means, but yeah, from that perspective. But yes, that is definitely the exception. Because yes, it's horrible that it is. because it's those with all that extra money that could really do the most good, and they do the least good. And that is that's an atrocity. So yeah, you think about it when you look at an average person, okay, construction worker, you know, things along those lines, you know, 10% of their salary compared to 10% of my salary is a huge difference, and it really shouldn't be. But then again, I think a lot of it has come down, like what we said earlier, capitalism. So in Japan, many years ago, they had a system where the CEO of a company could only make 100 times what the lowest paid employee made. So if you wanted to give yourself a raise as a CEO and make billions of dollars, you needed to have your janitor, you know, make 100 million. And so, but last I read, Elon Musk was worth 300 billion. There's around 8 billion on the planet, I think. Yeah. So take 300 divided by 8. That's how much money each person will get. Yep. Yeah. But yeah, only 100 times, right? So yeah. So they definitely, and they don't follow that in Japan anymore. But yeah, including infants, exactly. But yeah, they definitely don't follow that anymore. But in America, I mean, our CEO, I mean, he made he made like 10,000 times what I made, and I wasn't the lowest paid guy in the company. You know, I mean, he was making 30 some million a year, not even counting stock options. I mean, but yeah, Japan's capitalism is still better than the U.S. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think they've got a little bit more. They're still kind of in that whole feudal system, which is nice. The problem is in Japan. I visited Japan, most clean country I have ever been to in my life. I've been to a lot of countries, and it was the cleanest country I've ever been to. But they have the highest suicide rate in the world because it's all work and family. There's really no, you know, no offshoot for entertainment. They're really not giving any time to entertainment. You miss your job. If you're late for your job once, you're fired. And it's kind of ridiculous. So I think we need strict laws on profit margins. Yeah, I agree. Here in the Philippines, it's funny. Here in the Philippines, somebody will open what they call a sorry store, which is just where you sell kind of random things. You know, you sell eggs and you sell sugar and you sell that to the people in your neighborhood so they don't have to walk all the way to the grocery store. And they'll make like a 0.001% profit and do all that work for that little tiny profit. Where in America, I mean, no, they won't even consider something unless it's like a 30% profit. If it's not a 30% profit, I'm not even going to open that restaurant. It's like not worth it. And it's like, in Japan, men don't really spend time with family. Yep. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah, they say suicide rates highest in the world. Highest in the world. But, which is sad because such a profitable country that's not happy. I mean, and then you got the opposite side, you know, America, which I guess they claim to be happy, but, you know, so much happiness and pissing away profitability like no tomorrow. So, not low, I meant young. They have to take high school entrance exams to stress starts low. Yeah, stress starts young. Exactly. Yep. Should I make the bad joke? I probably shouldn't. It's all right, SpongeyJon. I've probably already crossed the line a couple times this morning, so I apologize about that. But yeah, it's frustrating because America especially could do so much good and they do so little of it that it's very frustrating. Very frustrating. Well, that was quick. Yeah, it looks like the asteroids are pretty small, Skim. Japan also has negative population growth. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, And they didn't get themselves in the same problem as China, but yeah, along the lines of China, where you can only have one kid, so they all wanted to have boys, so now there's no girls. Duh. So you also have four middlemen between a product being made and you buying said product. Exactly. Yeah, there's so many levels that it just, and every one of them adds a percentage on there. So yeah. Perhaps the reason for the high suicide rate in Japan is because men have no time to wet their wick. I mean, yeah, that's it. Yeah, yeah. I'm sure that's part of it. I'm sure that's part of it. Though they say, some of the highest end prostitutes come from Japan, so I don't know. But they probably can't afford them. Because I don't know that there's a lot of company loyalty in Japan, but I don't know if they really pay their people very well. So that wasn't that bad. I thought you were going to say something bad. Yeah, that wasn't that bad. But yeah. And don't get me wrong, that's usually when I'm depressed, is when it's been a while. Now, never gotten to the suicide point, but still. All right. Coming at you, Al. Give me a second. There you go, buddy. We're in 7-7. But yeah, it's interesting. I always find it interesting how different countries deal with social issues. Because we all have them. And so am I. So am I. Oh, you're already here? Oh, crap. Yeah, you are. Good job. Hell, I may be older now, but I do remember being a young man and full of rage. Yeah, that's what I told my daughter. I said, TMI, TMI, Piopa gal. I understand. I understand. But yeah, the same way I told my daughter. I said, you may not think that 18-year-old boys are thinking of that, but I know for a fact that's exactly what 18-year-old boys are thinking about. I can tell you for a fact that's all they're thinking about. Which is probably why she got pregnant at 18. But like I said, I complain about that. But if one of the checks on our checklist before we could retire to the Philippines was must see one of our grandchildren, and so she checked that one off very early. Her first day of senior high, of senior year, she gave birth to my granddaughter, so who turned 14 last August. So yeah. So yeah, we definitely checked that one off early. So I was like, okay, well, and she's had a rough life because of that, but she's done very well. I'm very proud of her, very proud of her. So, but yeah, I think she probably learned her lesson. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder, but yeah. The suicide epidemic has more to do with stress from being successful than lack of sex. Yeah, I think that's true too. I do believe that. I'm sure the physical frustration has part of it, but yes, they count everything is company and loyalty. So yeah. Yeah, I would say probably yeah, tough life is probably right. Yep. But she's done very well. I'm very proud of her. Very proud of her. But yeah, more stress from Japan has a high school entrance exam placement test. Yeah, there's a very high level. They need to succeed at every level, and they are really there's really a lot of pressure for that, and that makes it hard. So, I mean, maybe if she was aware of that checklist, she thought she was helping. Yeah, I don't think she was. Because we kind of had it as a mental checklist, and we honestly never expected to check that one off that quickly. I mean, now, as it turns out, what's up, Xurdaben? As it turns out, it's highly unlikely my son will be giving me an heir. I love him dearly, but the only woman in his life is his mother, and I really hope. Actually, she's too old, so that won't be a problem. But yes, we've talked about that before on stream. I'm not gonna go there again, but yeah. So yeah, he's a mama's boy at 27. 27? Yeah. And no matter how hard I've tried, it's hard to get fired in Japan. They have to show cause and protect their work. I don't know about that. Like I said, when we were there, we were told that if they're late one day, they're fired. Which, like you said, is a big stigma for them. But maybe, like I said, we were told that by some Japanese. And so... Because, yeah, we were there 2-3 years ago. My wife has a sister that lives there. And so we went to visit her when my wife... Actually, it might have been longer. Yeah, maybe it was longer than that. Maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah. The train was late one day. So their trains are never late. And the train was late one day, and I didn't think anything of it because in America, the train being late, it's even the subway. It's never a guarantee. And they gave a note to everyone on the train, so they could take it to their employer. Sandy Olson, good to see you. So they could take it to their employer, so they would not be fired. And that's when we were told that if they're late once, they're fired. Because the trains are so on time. In fact, the only time the trains were late, and then in case of this one, is when somebody jumps in front of them. And that's what happened this time. Somebody jumped in front of the train, which made it late. They gave everybody a note so they wouldn't get fired. And that happened while we were there. So that's where the whole highest suicide rate in the world came up and all that. So... Yeah, so I'm not sure what that was. Boom, boom, there goes the train. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's not the subways. They really don't stop. They stop just so they can recover the remains. But yeah, because they've actually set the trains up so that it won't affect them, which is kind of sad. But I guess because it happens so often, I think it would have sounded more like a squish squish. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, yeah. It was really sobering event for me because we have suicide problems in America, of course, but not like that. It was, and like I said, it doesn't happen. I shouldn't say it doesn't happen often. I guess they said about once a month, which I guess would for some people probably would be considered pretty darn often. So they kind of wrote it off as, but that's what they said. It was because of the stress, and then not having any real entertainment outlet. They really didn't have anything other than drinking and the pachinko palaces where they could burn off steam, relax. All my bad jokes aside, anyone taking their own life one time is too many times. Exactly, exactly. Yeah, that was, like I said, that was very sobering. So we people are God in Canada. Yeah. Yeah, that's where SpongeyJon is in Canada. That's how we got on this discussion. So, but yeah, I'm gonna have to actually check what year that was. We went. I promised. I told her if she got her citizenship in America, which she did, that we would go. We would visit her sister in Japan because she hadn't seen her sister in almost 20 years. And so when we came back every 2 to 3 years, we came back to the Philippines so she could visit her mom. Her mom passed away 4 or 5 years ago, and we stopped visiting after that. But it was prior to that, so yeah, so it would have had to have been at least 6 or 7 years ago, maybe. So 1800, that was a good year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably a lot of suicides back then too, though. Or maybe you didn't know they were suicides. They just called it bear attack. Yeah. Or Native American attack, right? Native Americans got blamed for a lot. Mataiodragon, good to see you, buddy. Sorry, I almost missed you again. But yeah. Alright, we need to come up with a better topic. So I was telling everybody there will be another video for the lot. Unfortunately, I think I need to change the settings on my phone. Oh, I don't have my phone in here. Oh well. Because it took over 12 hours and it's still uploading to YouTube. So, and it's about 25 minutes long. I think 9 minutes is me talking and answering, you know, different questions I wrote down. I made a whole list of things that I wanted to mention that I didn't cover in the video. So yeah, so it was kind of a cleanup one, but I had to tape that outro, I think 3 or 4 times. And then splice it all together. Survival, good to see ya. Let's go blow something up. Yeah, we're mining today. No blowing up. I got the Winter Nexus alligator you were using, updating my PI, and then I'm going to take it out. There you go. There you go. After flushing your well salt water. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, they said that the salt is getting better. So yeah, that was a positive. But there is a huge positive. I don't want to spoil it. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys, but I'm super excited. I'm going to tell you that. Super excited. They did something at the lot that I'm super excited because it's actually helping me visually. Actually, I did a couple things at the lot that were super exciting, but one big one, and you'll know from the video which one it is because I talk about it like very emphatically. But yeah, they didn't strike oil. That would have really helped pay for it all. But yeah, didn't strike oil. No, I hope they didn't strike salt water. That was one of the concerns they had, is if they drilled too far, since we are close to the ocean, they would drill through the bedrock and get down to the salt water, and then the well would be ruined. So I'm really hoping that didn't happen. It was kind of funny. I don't know if we mentioned it on the video, but they when they got to the 150 mark, which is what they were shooting for, they hit a rock, and so they couldn't put the pump down on top of the rock, so they had to drill through that rock in order to then put the pump down at the 150 mark. And so yeah, so they did that, and that's where I'm wondering if maybe that was the one that put it over the edge, but hopefully not. But yeah, like I said, let me check and see if it's done. Oh my goodness. So it's very overcast day. It is done. Finally finished. All right, so I'm going to go out here. I'm going to mark it as public, even though I haven't watched it yet, because I am not uploading it again, no matter what. So yeah, it'll have to be bad. All right, let me turn that off. Let me mark that. Let me grab the link. All right, I'm going to throw it out here on Discord. House build. All right, there's a new video out there. Fresh off the upload. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. It's definitely got Ron talking a lot. So sorry about that. Because you guys probably get enough of that already. Drachenhort, good to see ya. But yeah, I want you guys to see what made me super excited. I was really surprised. I was not expecting this that early. So yeah. And like I said, you'll know. Because I'm like, oh no. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. A pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. Actually, like I said, there were actually quite a few things, because yeah, we got our title. So we have the title with my wife's and my name on it. As my name on it as an honorable mention, but my name's on there, so that's all that matters. And so that was a big deal too. But yeah, a lot of big deals, a lot of big deals. So Drachenhort, good to see you. Appreciate you. We're out here mining if you want to join us. I need to switch over to Craig and then salvage this baby up. He's slacking. You guys are watching the video now, not listening to me, so sorry about that. But yeah, check it out. But yeah, we hadn't been over there for 4 days, which was way too long. But yeah, there's never a dull moment. Never a dull moment.
The asteroid is depleted.
One hour of Rogue Trader beats to rule your empire. Cool, cool. Thanks for that, Martel Tace. Never go away. All right. Bring you back.
The asteroid is depleted.
Yeah, they're disappearing quick. This was probably a fresh respawn. That's why they weren't mining this one, Scimitar. Because they had already mined it out yesterday, probably. That's alright. It was very overcast today. After the slab is poured, the walls will going up after 3 days. Yeah. So I think what they're actually going to do is they'll probably start putting the walls up before the slab goes in. But yeah, that's one of the other ones. They have a couple. They have 2 beams in, 2 of the bottom beams over in the guest room area, and the walls will actually go on top of those. So yeah, it is really progressing. Way faster than I expected. Way faster. But yeah, like I said, you'll see the one that really got me excited. Like, the wife was super excited about the title. She couldn't talk about anything other than the title. I think I had a bit too much baklava. We'll just chill and hope to fall asleep. All right, Drachenhort. I do that with rum cake. The rum cake tastes so good. And I'm like, oh man, this rum cake is great. Especially when we went to Jamaica. Oh. But yes, rum cake was so good. And then I realized, oh crap, I can't stand up. Yeah, I'm just going to sit here and hope I fall asleep in the chair and sleep it off. Yeah, that was good rum cake, but man, did it hit you. Wasn't definitely not alcohol free. So yeah, I told the wife she couldn't have any because we've talked about that before. She doesn't deal with alcohol very well, so kind of overly sensitive. Actually, she's overly sensitive to everything. So yeah, but yeah, overly sensitive to alcohol consumption. God bless her. God bless her. But yeah, she was super excited about the title. And she got kind of pissed at me because I was excited about the other. And I'm like, nah, this is a super big deal to me. This made my whole day. Made my whole week. I mean, they could stop doing all the rest of it and just work on that, and I'll be perfectly fine. I'll be perfectly fine. But yeah, it's funny. Priorities. Really doesn't do much good without the rest of the house, but you know, now you can be honest with Twitch. You just told her that so you could have more. Yeah. Well, that was also part of it because it was really good. The best rum cake I've ever had, which makes sense. It was from Jamaica, so yeah, kind of makes sense. But yeah, it was super strong. But yeah, no, we would get the non-alcoholic sparkling grape juice for New Year's when we were in America, and she would kind of get tipsy from that. And yeah, But yeah, I told this one before, Spongy. I don't know if you were on here, but when she first came to America, we went out with another Philippine American couple, and we went to a Mexican restaurant, and it was margarita special, and so as I said, hey, do you want to try a margarita? She's like, sure, I'll try a margarita, and I'm like, okay, I said it's got tequila in it, so it's pretty strong. Oh yeah, no problem. So I'm like, okay, and so they bring the margarita, big old cup, and she takes like one sip of it, and probably like, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes go by, and she leans over and she says, I think you need to take me to the hospital.
The asteroid is
And I said, what's wrong? And she says, well, I'm dizzy. My fingers are tingling. I'm having trouble concentrating. And I said, you're drunk. And she says, no, I only had one sip. And I said, sweetheart, that's a Mexican margarita. That's not, they're not messing around here. That's some serious alcohol. That's kind of why I mentioned it. And she's like, oh, I've never drank before. And I'm like, oh, Lord. So I was like, yeah, you're not having any more of that. You'll be fine, but don't have any more of that. Yeah, Federweiser, there you go. Yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, kamikazes. I loved kamikaze. You guys never had kamikaze. Those are ones. I could drink them nonstop. And then you get up to go to the bathroom and you're like, why can't I get up? Oh, my God. Like Kool-Aid. Back in my drinking days. I don't do that stuff anymore. Mostly because my wife doesn't let me do that stuff anymore. But beside the point. My brother-in-law Archie, you guys ever heard about Archie's the one who drives us around, does everything for us. He's pretty much yeah, he's like our prince. And Long Island iced tea, that's another one. Yeah, I love those. Oh, I love those. Yeah. But yeah, he likes to drink beer, and he's also been kind of stressed because of all the stuff he's doing for us, and so I guess he had one of, I think, the barangay captain or somebody do something for us, and so the barangay captain asked him out to have some drinks, and so he went out and he got drunk with the barangay captain. Which, if you're gonna get drunk with somebody, that's probably the guy. He's not like chief of the police, but he's connected, and so. But of course, he came home to the wife, Cynthia, and Cynthia called my wife, Adele, and the two of them ripped him up one side and down the other. And I'm like, leave the guy alone, okay? He's working hard. Give him, But then, of course, we had to cancel our trip to Manila because he was still hungover, and I was like, okay, that can't happen again, Archie. You're messing up my schedule. Which is what messed up our getting to the lot and me getting some videos. So, but yeah, duck fart's my favorite. I don't know duck fart. I don't know that one. I have to look that one up. Now I'm kind of and when I do, I never drink. I think I had one here a month or so ago. I brought a bunch of Fireball whiskey with me. That's my new favorite. Fireball and 7-Up, and but yeah, I think I had one here about a month ago, and I barely finished a glass before I was like, woof. Been a while. But I slept good. I slept really good. But yeah, I always have to do that late at night when I'm streaming or when the wife's not around or something like that. Because, man, ugh. Like I said, she's still harassing Archie, and that was last week. She's still harassing Archie about the going out with the barangay captain. Which Archie, I'm perfectly fine with whatever you do. Not a problem. You're a grown man, do whatever you want. But when my wife starts yelling at me because you went out drinking, we need to have a conversation. Yeah. And then, of course, when you have to cancel our trip to Manila, which once the Manila trip was canceled, then it pushed everything else back. And so I was like, crap. Though I understand. I wouldn't want to try and be making that drive after having a hangover. Good God. Traffic here. Oh, traffic here is horrible. But yeah, we are trying to solidify this car deal. Unfortunately, they're jerking us around on the... We're planning to pay cash for a brand new car, and they're jerking us around on how much of a discount, cash discount they're going to give us. They have a cash discount here, and they're really not playing ball. Plus, I figured there'd be a Christmas discount, but they don't. Everybody here wants a Christmas gift, but they're not willing to give me a Christmas gift. So yeah. 1/3 Kahlua, 1/3 Bailey's, 1/3 Crown Royal. That sounds good. Yeah. This might explain why I was married and divorced twice, because if my wife ever yelled at me for something someone else did, I'd be like, redirect, sweetheart. I did nothing. Yeah, I tried that. Yeah, I tried that. Like, hold a second. But here in the Philippines, don't get me started. It's a matriarchal society. Probably because the women outnumbered the men 5-1, but I'm not blaming, but yeah, but it's funny because the eldest female in the family calls the shots for the whole family, and it's ironic because they don't get to do that until they become the eldest, which usually isn't until the previous elder died. So, which means if the grandmother in the family lived to be 100, which is not uncommon, the next one would be one of the daughters, would be the next one to call the shots, and she's probably in her 80s and has never made a decision in her life, and now she's making decisions for the whole family in her 80s, and it's like, yeah, that's not a good plan. Part of the whole getting better decisions is having made some, but yeah, my wife, unfortunately, because she's married to me, her status in the family has been raised. So now her eldest sister calls her every time before she makes a decision to check with her. And I'm like, her being married to me does not make her a better decision maker or a better, choice maker. But yeah, it's kind of escalated. So yeah, so she feels that she can dictate to her brother. Archie's younger than her by a couple years. Archie's younger than me. And I'm younger than her. But so yeah, she feels she can dictate to Archie how he needs to live his life. And I'm like, yeah, that's never a good situation. But my second wife once woke up and immediately went into a rant that was all about an event that happened in her brain. Yeah, I've had that happen too. They dreamed that something happened. So, matriarchy, Houston, we have a problem. Exactly. Yeah, exactly, Al. But yeah, I let her rant, but then I was like, so it took place in your brain, right? And that led to, yeah, exactly. That's why I said, so hold on, you dreamed about me cheating on you. Okay, well, at least in your dream, I'm getting lucky. And she was super pissed. And I said, well, I said, I haven't cheated on you here yet, so I think that's all that matters. And she knew she was wrong. She kind of stormed off. That's the other thing. Is even when I win an argument, I don't win an argument. That's marriage. But I'll make a pitcher of Long Island iced tea. Give me 10 minutes with Grandma. She would be happy about it. Exactly. Yeah. It's really a bad system. It's a bad system. But it has served them for, several thousand years. So they're not gonna, this stupid American's not gonna get them to change. So yeah. But yeah. And my wife is loving her elevated status. Loving it. Because, yeah, she's the youngest girl in the family. So she had no chance of ever controlling anyone. Everybody else would be gone before that. So, yet, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm known for my sarcasm and jokes, sometimes probably over the edge, but these women knew that before exactly. And that's where I'm at. Is you knew what you were getting into. This isn't a new feature here, okay? I wasn't taking blame for anything you dreamed up before. So, yeah. But yeah, mine, yeah. She dreams about me cheating on her all the time. I guess that's what she fears the most. Is me cheating on her, which honestly, it's a non-starter. So I don't know why she worries about it. She dreamed about that though when we were in America, and I'm like, I wouldn't touch one of these women yeah. Never mind. Let's not go there. But yeah, I had pretty much decided that I was done with that American philosophy. So yeah, but yeah, that's what I always tell her. I said, "You're the smoking hot one. If there's gonna be any cheating, it's gonna be on the other side." And I said, "Cause yeah, I mean, I still can't believe you agreed to marry me for crying out loud." So yeah, but yeah, what do you do? What do you do? She's the best thing ever happened to me. So, and that's what I told her. I said, I'm intelligent enough to know that that's not worth the risk. So I remember my first wife. We were walking through a mall. She totally caught me looking at this blonde across the hall. I mean, your eyes, you got to notice people. It's part of the whole survival mechanism to make sure nobody's attacking, right? Totally caught me. Keep in mind, I've never cheated ever, right? She goes, what would you even do with her if you got her? Apparently, probably split her. That was the wrong answer. Yeah, I would have probably said, "Are you sure you want me to answer that?" Because that's the other thing I told my wife is, "Do not WYOHUSKER. Good to see you." I told her, "Don't ask me a question you don't want the answer to, because I will give it to you." And so we've talked about that before. Does this dress make me look fat? Pretty sure it's not the dress, dear. Pretty sure it's not the dress. That was an actual event. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that happening too. Because, yeah, I'm like you. I'm very sarcastic. The problem is with the Filipinos, they don't get the sarcasm. So, MortalComeBath, see ya. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah, they don't get the sarcasm. Sorry, you guys probably aren't hearing me because of the ads. Sorry. Some of you are. Hmm. Sing it, Kenny. Sing it, Kenny. The only love I need. And beside me. Destination coming in 10 minutes. Oh, crap. I wanted to see that. I'll watch it on YouTube. Of course, they probably cut some sections of it out, so. I want you to know you're the love of my life. I'm not even sure I could get it here. We probably could. I don't know. I don't have any actual live US TV anymore. So but I bet your YouTube's probably got it on their live. So yeah. One of the rare times I'm thankful Canada has stopped broadcasting news that's not Canadian government approved. Don't get me wrong, some of Trump's ideas are not terrible. However, he is a terrible leader. Honestly, don't know that I agree with that, SpongeyJon, but I don't know that anybody's really a good leader, to be perfectly honest. So, but that's why I watch live. Yeah, yeah, because they like to cut stuff out. But yeah, it's one of those jobs that honestly I don't know why you would take it. It's a thankless job. Everybody knows every time you have a bowel movement. I mean, you really got to be kind of have some loose screws in the head to even want the job. So I'm an outsider looking in. Yeah, it's the biggest problem I think is that half the country hates him just to hate him, not because of really anything he's ever done. And I don't think you're ever going to get them to change that. So I don't know that he's ever going to be really successful. No matter how successful he is, half the country's not going to consider him successful. So, but yes, he was definitely. I am not against a woman president. I want to make that very clear here. But I'm sorry, if you want to be president of the United States, you got to be able to put a coherent sentence together. I'm sorry. That's at least a minimum requirement. And that woman, she could not even put a coherent sentence together. And I'm sorry. She still thinks she's going to run, in the next election. And I'm like, really? Nice barish music. Yeah, there you go. Get your gin and tonic. He is already successful. But like I said, half the country will not acknowledge that, and they will never acknowledge that. I mean, he could solve all of our problems, and they will never acknowledge it. Never. Right up there with, with the last president, a couple weeks after him being in office, the gas prices skyrocketed, and they wouldn't even blame him for that. And I'm like, what do you mean? He closed the oil pipeline. That's what's making the gas price skyrocket. But But yes, I agree. He's been, I'm old enough to remember when they could all discuss and have different, yep. Well, and that's where it is here, is regardless of where you stand, I still love you, okay? I don't have a problem with any of that, So wherever you stand, I acknowledge and I respect your decision, But it's been really interesting because
The asteroid is depleted.
yeah, I agree with Scimitar. He's already been successful, but I don't think anyone will ever acknowledge that. So even Snoop Dogg said he liked Trump. Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing and a lot of people when they say they like Trump, then they get kind of ostracized, and it's like, why? I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I mean, and like SpongeyJon said, what happened to us agreeing to disagree? That's the thing. The world needs to get back to accepting not everyone's going to agree. Yep. No matter what I think, I can't change the way you think, and I don't want to change the way you think. I mean, you're entitled to your opinion just like I'm entitled to mine, and so you can't have free speech if you're constantly stopping people from saying stuff you don't like. That's not free speech. That's just your speech. And so, but yeah, get back to everyone accepting they're not going to agree. These days, people seem to think if you disagree, it's a prerequisite they hate each other. Yeah, and that's where I'm like, yeah, no, I can't. And I have family members that brothers and sisters that do not speak to me anymore because of that. So, yeah. So, you think I'm nuts or you think SpongeyJon's nuts? Which one? Or both. But yeah, I have family members that won't speak to me because of how I voted in the election. And I'm like, okay. All right. I don't hate you. Anytime you want to talk, let me know. I'm still here. But yeah.
Asteroid is depleted.
Which, like I said, that's kind of ridiculous. So I'm not a popular guy in Canada these days. How dare I blindly accept the government rhetoric? Yeah, no, I agree with that as well. Yeah, I do not believe the government is telling you the truth. That's not mince that words. The government is not. It's not. They don't get done what they need to get done by telling us the truth. That is definitely not the case. But yeah, and we've talked about this too before. But everybody's like, "Aren't you worried about the FBI listening to your conversation?" No, I pity the guy who's stuck with listening to my conversations, because God, that's got to be the most boring job in the freaking world. So. No government anywhere does not tell the truth. Exactly. Exactly. And how do you know a politician's lying? Because his lips are moving, right? Ah. They say exactly what they want to say to get elected and never do anything along those lines, period. Politics, I'm out. Yep. Sorry, drachenhort. Politicians want the people arguing amongst themselves. Yep. Well, I did a double negative. It's all right. I knew what you meant. But yeah. Yeah, and I agree with Drachenhort. I don't want to talk about politics. That's an accident waiting to happen. Didn't catch it. Didn't catch it. But yeah. So let's talk about something else. So the weather. I hear a lot of you guys are getting snow in America. I don't know about the rest of you. Drachenhort's in Germany. SpongeyJon, you're in Canada. You guys always have snow. So, WYOHUSKER, are you in Wyoming? Let me know where you guys are from. I know Al's in Oregon, I think. Yeah. Al, are you guys getting snow? You probably are. You're close to Canada border, so you probably are getting snow. So I don't know. You guys are close enough to the coast. I wonder. Never thought about that. Because California usually doesn't get any snow, so very rarely. But I don't know if that's because they're south or because they're west. So, yeah, Wyoming, not much snow here yet, though. Been warm. Okay, well, that's good. Definitely warm here. So, yeah. Been storming here for 3 days. Lawn ornaments are taking a beating. There you go. There you go. Yeah, well, those pink flamingos, they don't last forever. So, you need to get some of those pottery gnomes. That's the one. PNW, not snow. Here, just flooding in the news. There you go. There you go. I live in the Willamette Valley. Very temperate. There you go. There you go. Cool. That's what I wondered. I thought it probably was. So you guys are close to the Canadian border, so wine country. There you go. No snow in sight yet. Guessing maybe around January, February. Okay, cool, Drachenhort. California getting ready to pay $400 for a tank of gas. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. But they're actually pretty used to it, because that's where the highest gas prices in the nation were always there. So, yeah. Wine country, Al. That's not bad. That's definitely a positive. Can't go wrong with a bunch of wine. Can't go wrong with a bunch of wine. I think we killed this belt, Scimitar. There is snow on the mountains, but not much so far to lower elevations. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I know in Kansas City they've been getting a lot of cold and some snow. So I still talk to a lot of people there. So my daughter is in New Mexico, and I don't think they get a whole lot of snow there. Las Vegas, New Mexico, which I didn't know there was a Las Vegas, New Mexico until she moved there. So that was the new thing I learned on that day. But yeah, I thought Germany used to it gets a pretty good snowfall. But yeah, maybe later in the year. So lots of rain, therefore lots of pristine forests, lakes, and I do know Oregon, you guys got some of the most beautiful natural forest. Oregon and Washington State are, they're still the untamed wilderness. Lots of forests, which is good because you're creating oxygen for the rest of us because they're cutting all the trees down everywhere else. So that's good. That's good. Keep those trees growing. It's kind of, that's another funny one about the human race, you know. God gave us a planet where the trees take in what we expel and create what we need. So you would think we'd be smart enough not to cut them all down, but not yet. And probably not ever. Bum, 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 bum. I keep forgetting I set that one key compress. Lots of rain, therefore lots of precipitation. Usually in Bavaria, way down south. Okay. That makes sense. All right, Scimitar, are we going to go up or are we going to go down? You said you checked the higher ones. Oop. You said you checked the higher ones. So yeah, maybe we go down. Let's go to 8-1.
The asteroid is depleted. The asteroid.
Let's go to 8-1. That's the end of that.
The asteroid is depleted.
That's the end of that. Alright, one last one over here. So yeah, you want to start shutting it down, Scimitar, go for it. We'll wait for you and we'll do a fleet warp. Life is a highway. Pick one. Yeah, let's go down. Let's go to A1. Since you already scouted out the high 7s, the low 7s, we'll let's go higher. We'll see how it works. Actually, I'm going to send Kragan over there quick. Oh. Yeah, that way I can check it out at least a second or two before you guys get there. Right down the Golden Gate. Not much time left today. Yeah, just let me know when you're ready, buddy. And we'll fleet warp. You can send your guys if you want. Or I'll warp us all. Kragan's over there. No rats. And it does have asteroids. And they don't look that bad. A couple big ones. One big one. Largely untouched is what it says. Actually, these look pretty big. Yeah, these look pretty big. I think this one might be better than where we were, so. It's the part every American thinks is like all Germany, but even Germans don't always like to be associated with the Bavarians. Yeah, yeah. We kind of have the same in America. You know, you got, depending on which one that you're talking about, but yeah, you get some Southerners, they're like, oh, you guys are just like all those other people in the South. I'm like, yeah, I don't have an accent like that, you know, but yeah. They watch, what's that movie with Ned Beatty? Deliverance. That's an old one. You guys might not know that one. But yeah, Deliverance, they was about some guys in the Deep South, and yeah, that was pretty disturbing. Yeah. No lederhosen where I live. There you go. There you go. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I missed it. Alright. Mining is up. Alright, you ready? Alright, here we go. Here we go. I'm going to warp right to Kragan since he's already in position. Here we go. I didn't check if everybody had their drones in. Up, somebody's drones are out. No, they're not ours. There's somebody else here? Looks like somebody left some drones. Oh, we should have probably picked those up. Squeal like a piggy. That was it. That's okay. They have beer. Yeah. Squeal like a piggy. Squeal like a piggy. You've seen that movie. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, after that one came out, everybody was like, oh, that's what Americans are like. No, that's a small subset. Don't get yourself lost in the South. All right, bingo. Bingo, bingo. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's get this going. Get this show on the road. All right, cool beans. So yeah, they're not ours. Yeah, probably should have gone and picked them up. I think they were tier 2 hobgoblins. So yeah, but that's all right. Bum, 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 bum. Good song. Good song. The thought of you keep running through the back of my mind. Tier 1, were they tier 1s? Okay, yeah, no worries then. Yeah, they're not worth going back for if they're only tier 1s. Never knew love before. Then came you. Then came you. I never knew love before. This is my theme song for my wife. Fish on. Thanks, Skim. You are awesome. Appreciate ya. But yeah. Yeah, weather-wise, it is the same here as it is pretty much every day. It's overcast again, but the sun actually peeked its head up for that second, which is why I couldn't see my monitor for a second. But yes, it is let me check the weather and give you guys the exact temperature. It is 82 degrees. So it's actually in the low 80s today. And actually it shows it's only going to get up to 84. So yeah, it's gonna, but it says mostly cloudy all day. Cloud cover is 86%. No rain. Humidity though, it says it feels like 90. Wind is 11 miles an hour. UV index is 5 out of 11. Humidity is 84%. That's the killer. That's the killer. Tomorrow we're actually going to get some rain, so, but it's going to be early, so I should be able to go over there, and I'm planning on going over and doing some more filming tomorrow. I got to see if I can get the settings right on my phone so that it doesn't take me 12 hours to upload videos, because that's ridiculous. So, but yeah, if you guys checked out the video, throw in the chat if you know what my biggest excitement from the latest video is. Day 17. I think if you saw the video, you know what it is, because yeah, I was pretty obvious. I was pretty transparent. Which is funny too, because it's like, I told the wife, so I don't understand why you don't realize that's what I'm going to be most excited about. She's like, yeah, but that's pretty superficial. And yeah, no, it's not. 86%, 88% humidity. Yeah. That's a big deal. Big deal. So yeah. But yeah, there were a lot of really good things. Like I said, getting the title. The title is a huge load off. Though I've known since he filed it that we were good. So that was kind of like that was kind of nice. But so yeah, so I wasn't as excited about that. It was just a matter of time. So yeah, so that was a normal progression. But yeah, having the beams put in. So like I said, there's two beams over on the guest side of the house, guest room side of the house. So yeah, so that's a major accomplishment. But yeah, like I said, the third one was really the big one, which is pretty superficial. But I was like, yeah, they also put in the columns around where our front door will be, which was kind of nice because that kind of gives it a little bit more visibility, which was kind of nice. So I was pretty excited about that. But yeah, the big winner. I'm shallow. I'm shallow. So yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Release my inner fantasy. Nope. Didn't realize one of them had already stopped.
The asteroid is depleted.
No, no, no. No, no, no. Bum, 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 bum. Thanks again, Scimitar. Appreciate you boosting. And I'm glad you're feeling better. Oh, I'm sorry about the bad news, so. But my new philosophy about everything is this too shall pass. So. But yeah, it's a shame you got to wait that long to try and get justice. So. Whew, one of the big ones just disappeared. Ah, and another big one over there. Wow. You guys are killing them. Wow, 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 wow. No, I appreciate it. Especially since my buddy Jackson isn't around. I don't know what happened to Jackson. Actually, this might be his week with mom, so.
The asteroid is depleted.
Steve's Haven's not on, so yeah, so he's not hanging out with Steve. He's not cheating on me with Steve, so. Yeah, he's not cheating on me with Steve, so there is that. Ugh, can't see. The sun's popped out again, so now I can't see my browser. I do miss Jackson. Yeah, I do miss Jackson. Jackson's always fun. Jackson's always fun. Yeah, he's got a lot going on in his life too, so yeah. So yeah, I feel for him too. He's doing a lot of traveling, which is rough. A lot of back and forth. Self to sleep, waking up lonely. I needed someone to hold me. Oh. 24 seconds. Man, that's amazing. 17 seconds on Falstaff. Man. "17 seconds. Yeah, I miss, and the other one I miss, Kickin. Kickin's actually, I guess, been pretty busy. He hasn't been around in a while. Though I do see him on Steve's Haven when I'm on there every once in a while. Yeah, I'm running Tech 2 A's too. Yeah, I went with the A's. I don't know. You got Lego. Lego's not on today. Lego might be right that the bees are better in the long run, but I need to do a legitimate test, but I can build the A's pretty easy, so I already have a bunch of the A's built up, so that's the other one is I don't, and the freaking Nox, they take a lot of Nox. I think one of these days we're going to have to do a run to Trig Space and see if we can mine some Nox. According to DLH, the asteroids in Trig Space are Nox heavy, and so I may have to start doing that on a regular basis, so because that Nox is killing me. That's the one that I'm always short of now. Always short of. Residue is down 16 with the A's. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, I haven't actually seen what mine is, so. You're everything I need. Guess I gotta get closer to that one. How far do I gotta get? 34, okay. You're everything to me. There goes one. Bum 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 bum. What you see is real. Who am I to blame you for doubting what you feel? Alright, cool. I'm in range. There's Lego. It's like all I had to do was say his name. All I had to do was say his name. He's a magic man like that. Good to see you, Lego. Thanks for the watch stream streak. I was asking where you were. I hadn't seen you, but you were the one telling us that the B's were better. Both Scimitar and I are using the A's, and so I was thinking I need to actually do a legitimate test where I can make sure, because you're probably right. I trust you more than I trust me, so. But I said, you know, I haven't seen Lego yet today, and boom, there you are. Just like that. Like a sixth sense. Someone has spoken about me. There's a disturbance in the force. What was that in the one? I just finished watching the YouTube upload. Oh, cool. So then you know what I am most excited about from the latest video. These guys haven't had a chance to watch it yet because they've been watching me. So, yeah, you know. I haven't told them. I don't want it to be spoiler free. Maybe investing in ore strip miners is worth it, but the price is always all put in. It is. And actually, if you want if you want drachenhort, I make them. So if you want, I'll make you a couple. Do you want tier 1s or tier 2s? Now, they take a lot of Nox. But yes, I'll make you some. Because, yeah, the price is outrageous. But that's why, because of all the Nox. I'm excited too. Yeah. Yeah. I am super. The wife was super pissed because we got the title. You saw the part about the title. So she's like, the title is the most exciting thing. Psh, no, it's not. We were definitely going to get the title. I wouldn't have accepted anything less. That has always been kind of one of the things I was afraid you were going to nix on me and say, nah, we can't afford it. Like, no, we can't afford it. And that's a deal breaker. I just didn't expect them to dig it this early. So, yeah, I told her, I said, you know what? I'm tempted to turn the well around and start pumping water in it right now. Unfortunately, without it being sealed, it'll just go back into the veteran ore strip, not the crystals. No, I can make you. Yeah, I can make you the miners as well. I got the miners as well. But yeah, when I said that, she really gave me a hard look because I was like, "What are they called? What are they called? Modulated strip miner twos." Yeah.
Is depleted.
Yeah, so do you need tier 1 or do you need tier 2, Drachenhort? I think they're named differently. I think the tier 2s are modulated and the tier 1s are something else. Oh, you need the crystals? If you need the crystals, I make those too. I make both. So you tell me which one you need and I can make them for you. So, crystals or miners or mining ship. Ore strips are different. Oh, ore. Manufactured by ore, not for mining ore. I gotcha. Yeah, I don't make those. I don't make those. Sorry, Drachenhort. Yeah, you got to get those from the actual LP store, I think. I think you can get a blueprint from the LP store, but yeah, those are super expensive. Yeah, I don't have those. Sorry. Sorry, Lego was absolutely correct. Once again, Lego's right. I was wrong. He's attractive. I am not good looking. Can't remember what the other ones were, but yeah, that was Happy Gilmore. I need to get the quotes out there. They're just called ore strip miners. There you go. Yeah, yeah. And then yeah. What was the guy's name? Weathers, Carl Weathers, without missing a beat. Okay, now that you understand that. Got them on the endurance. They're awesome. Yeah, they are awesome, but they're super expensive. Yeah, and the reason they're super expensive is because those ore LP are really hard to get. You got to go into nullsec to get those. That's where I lost my pro raider the other day. First pro raider I've ever lost at a gig camp. Ever. Still hacked off about that. Still hacked off about that. Ooh. My first perseverance just came out of the oven. There you go. Yeah, I haven't even started looking at that one yet. Yeah, I'm way too cheap to get the ores. Yeah, me too. That's why I didn't even realize that's what he was talking about. Because I'm like, that's not even on my radar. Yeah, yeah. And that would be mine. As soon as I put them on, somebody would gank me. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. High sex suicide ganker. Guaranteed. And I'd be like, and now, oh, I'd be super bummed. Super bummed. I would love to get somebody down there doing the points just so I could farm the points and get the blueprints and then build them for my other ones. That would be great. But yeah, The one time I was down there doing missions, somebody picked me off. So, yeah. Somebody picked me off. Somebody picked me off. Bum, 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 bum. So, Lego, we were talking about weather. What's the weather where you're at? It is cloudy. I think they said 84 for the high today, which is actually a pretty good day. But feels like 90 and 88% humidity. So, yeah. But no rain. Just, what did I say, 80 some percent cloud coverage. There's people now that are abyss rolling the ore strips. I'm like, how do you have that much isk? Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like 1 in 20 or 30 turns out good. The rest are junk. That is pretty bad. Today was beautiful. Sun shining. About 25 degrees Fahrenheit. Ouch. Ouch. That's okay, though. With the sun, at least it makes it feel a little warmer. At least it feels a little warmer. I keep forgetting I got a one key compression. I don't... Freaking moron. Yeah. It's actually, you know, even with the rainy season and the typhoons and all that, so we haven't had a typhoon come through in a couple weeks. So yeah, we're at the end of the rainy season now, so we should be good. But the temperature has been really manageable. You know, don't get me wrong, it's still hot as crap, but yeah, it's better than it was. It's not like standing on the sun, which is what it feels in the summer months. So yeah, January will start the summer months again, and it'll be bad. Yeah, my wife is the same. Yeah, my wife is the same. She posted a picture on Facebook of her standing in the snow one of the first years she was there, and you could tell she was miserable. Miserable. And she said, "Do I miss the snow? No, I do not." So yeah, wife hates the cold, and even said today was so nice. Obviously because it was -2 last weekend. Yeah, that's it too. We got that in Kansas City too. I never understood when we were living in Kansas City how Chicago could be the windy city. Because man, we got some wind in Kansas City. Felt like it was ripping the flesh off your bones. But we never got that one. Heart of America, I think, is what we got. But City of Fountains, which, yeah, another one that I don't know who comes up with these things. But yeah, though I've been to Chicago and it was really windy there. So I compress old school, did the luxurious thing though, and key binded the regroup key though. I did. I key binded mine and I keep forgetting to use it. So I really need one for stacking. That's what I really need. I haven't checked on Kragan in a while. Yep, Kragan's sitting over here not mining. Of course he is. Of course he is. Why would he be mining? That would make sense. That would make sense. That would make sense. Too busy talking. Too busy talking. All right, Xurdaben, welcome back. Welcome back. Yeah, drachenhort. I'm doing old school too. Muscle memory. Oh man, my rear end. Oh. I really don't know why. Never had this problem before. It's got to be the concrete. It's got to be the concrete. Got to be the concrete. I'm wondering if I put a pad down and put my chair on top of it, if maybe that would help. I'm going to give that a try. I have like a yoga mat. Oh, we're doing great. Xurdaben. Appreciate you, buddy. We got into politics a little bit there, but we put a stop to that pretty quick. So yeah, so fortunately I let it digress longer than it should have. So, but yeah.
The asteroid.
So sorry about that. That was me not upholding my usual unfailing standards. No politics. Could be the position of the monitors. Yeah. Yeah, I got this window right behind my desk, which was not a smart idea, number one. But if I don't open the curtains, the green screen doesn't get enough light for it to really filter correctly. Sometimes you can see the stars and stuff through my shirt, through my body. It freaks people out. So, well, I miss everything. Yeah. Was all right. It really wasn't missing much. You could always go back on the video on demand and catch it. It really wasn't that much. Luckily, Drachenhort was here and was like, yeah. Let's not go there. I got a big pirate flag. There you go. Well, and then the other thing is, so the wife changed my curtains yesterday. Which, okay. And ironically, so I had really dark blue curtains, which really kept the light out. Now she's giving me these crappy green ones that they really don't keep the light out. So I probably could close them and still get enough light. So, which I might, because that'll keep the sun out of my eyes. But yeah, I could also raise the monitors up a little bit more, but kind of like where they're at. So I'm kind of spoiled. You guys, if you watch the video, I think you actually see kind of how my desk is set up. Probably a little more of it than you wanted to see, but I got two big wide screens and they're nice. But yeah, I've been doing the outtake or the outro in front of the monitor in front of my desk. So get you some Hello Kitty from Amazon. There you go. Yeah. Actually, it's funny. We brought some space, some planets and space material from America. I bought it. I had a closet in my office in Kansas City that I had formed out of the wall. I had cut the wall out and made a kind of it wasn't really a walk-in closet, but I made a big closet, and I wanted to cover that, but I didn't want to put doors on it. And so I was going to put up curtain rods and put up this space, thing, and so yeah, it would have been kind of nice. But yeah, we never got around to it. And so we brought the material with us, and so she's been talking about making curtains out of that for me, but yeah, Hello Kitty. Yeah. Archie, I probably shouldn't say this. So Archie the other day, I guess, so he fell asleep, and I don't know if Cincher was mad at him, maybe from the whole getting drunk with the barangay captain thing. I don't know, but so I noticed he was at the site one day last week, and his toenails are painted pink. And I went, man, Archie, I really like those toenails. Those are really fashionable. And he just started laughing. Said, yeah, since you did that. And I'm like, yeah, definitely wouldn't piss her off. I know when you sleep. But yeah. But yeah, of course, I would have definitely, they never wear socks here. Never. In fact, when I wear socks, they look at me like I'm strange, but I hung some old towels on some nails over my basement window. Those are my curtains. There you go. And that's what I would normally do. But the wife, she would have a fit. Yeah, because that's pretty much what I did. I think I had an old blanket, and I just kind of nailed it to two corners. Of course, nailing it here with the concrete walls doesn't quite work. But yeah. The curtain rods here had to be really drilled in with a diamond bit in order to get, which was kind of interesting. Because most of them here do not have the diamond bit. So they're like, we don't have that one. Alright, I'll buy one. Really? They're expensive. It's not like the concrete walls are going away. It's kind of an investment. Tell me only this, that I have your heart for always. So my Discord server one is going. Have you guys seen my in-game channel message? I have not. I changed it the other day and now it doesn't seem to be working anymore, which is frustrating. I changed it to match one of the others that is working, but of course that didn't work. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to switch it back. Heaven forbid. Yeah, I added in that it should only go off when the stream has EVE Online in the name. And it was working for one of the others. But needless to say, it does not seem to be working now. So yeah. Which is why I never mess with stuff, because it never works after I mess with it. Which is frustrating. Alright, where is it at here? Where is it at? There we go. So yeah, the donation one. I changed the donation one. And we're not getting... I don't think we're getting that anymore, are we? I don't know. We might... Let's see. I'll wait for that one. Yeah, I don't remember seeing that one today either. And the in-game channel. So let's turn that off. And see what happens. Truly... That one miner is always off. Yeah. It's hacking me off, because it's like, no matter how many times I turn it on, it goes off right as soon as I turn my back. As soon as I look over at Craig, and it's like, yep. And it's not telling me, maybe it is telling me, but I'm not hearing it because I've got the music up too loud or whatever. But yeah, it's not telling me when it's disappearing, when it stops mining. I probably have the volume turned down on the game too low, but I don't think so. Maybe the music is up too high. I don't know. Of course, now that I said it, it's not going to do it, so. But yeah, we'll see. I switched the in-game channel one. We'll see if it starts popping. But I don't remember seeing donations today either. Somebody is calling me on Discord. It's not my brother. Spectre, I swear. You got me. You got me. It always annoying when someone else is on my rock and I don't get that asteroid's depleted. Yeah. You got me. You got me. You got me. That was a good one. I'm like, who is calling me on Discord? They would like to talk about your extended warranty. Yeah. Well, that was my wife, so you guys are gonna kick out of this. So the dealership, we're kind of pinning two dealerships off each other, which I guess they've never heard of here in the Philippines. So the dealership in Lipa, which is 2 hours away, told us they'd give us X peso discount for paying cash. The dealership in Alabang, which is in Manila, they gave a little bit more than them. So we called them back and said, okay, well, if you match it, we'll come to you, because we want a blue. We want the blue car. And Lipa actually had it. Well, turns out Lipa sold the blue car, so they don't have it anymore. and they said they couldn't match it. But she called my wife this morning at 7 o'clock in the morning to tell her. And, you know, the last person you want to call with something like that is my wife at 7 o'clock in the morning. She was like, I can't believe she called so early to pretty much give me bad news. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, but yeah. So it's funny you say about the extended warranty, because that's kind of what that was like, yeah, I told her to call the one in Alabang and see if we can make the deal and if we can put a deposit down, because they are supposedly getting a blue one in shortly, whatever that means. So I said, okay, well, I need a date. And then they have some extra charge. So I'm paying cash, but I'm going to use my debit card. So it draws right from my bank account in America, which I can do by calling my bank, since I used to work for them, by calling them and saying, hey, I'm going to have this large charge. Don't deny it. And kind of clear it ahead of time. But they said there's an extra charge for me to do that. And so I'm like, what? And so, yeah, I got the stuff to paint it any color you want. Yeah, that's it. So here, the popular colors are white and black. If you want any other color, it's an extra charge. And actually, and if you want red, which is my wife's favorite color, if you want red, that they charge you double for that. You know, not double, but double the extra charge. And so she's like, yeah, I'm not paying that. I'm like, okay, good, because I don't really want the red one. But yeah. So we settled on the blue, which they call a dark turquoise here. Yeah. Don't get me started, because I'm like, I don't think that's the right one. But sure enough, we checked it out. The only blue one they have is the dark turquoise, and it's the one we looked at. But yeah, Lipa actually had the blue one, and we were really pleased with it, but they were not really giving us the discount we wanted. So I said, well, let's wait for Christmas, and maybe we'll get a Christmas discount. Seems they don't have a Christmas discount here. They don't care about selling them before the end of the year. I'm like, okay. But yeah, so... But yeah, I actually did a Google search today, and it said it's actually illegal for them to charge you extra for using a debit card or a credit card here in the Philippines. So I'm like, okay, well, somebody should tell them that. Because I'm sure if and when I point that out to them, it's not going to change anything. I'm sure it's so that it'll cover the credit card charge, you know. But yeah, it's like, come on. That's and that's what it says on the thing. That's called the Consumer Fraud Services Act here in the Philippines. It's illegal for them to charge you extra for that. They need to cover the cost of doing business via credit card. That's their thing. So here in the USA, it's a 4% charge. Yeah, I think here it's only like 1%, but still. But yeah, Phaedra, thanks for being here. But yeah. And then the tax is already rolled into the cost of the car. So we've got the cost of the car already, and there's no extra tax. Where in America, they give you the cost of the car, and then they add tax on top of it. So I'm like, okay, well, we're going to pay tax in America. So yeah, so kind of, we're good. So, but yeah, still don't want to pay it if I don't have to. So my realty charges me 10% credit card for paying the rent. Yep, that makes sense. Yeah, I think it's just so they don't have to cover the credit card charges. Because, yeah, the credit card companies, we were talking about that earlier, most profitable businesses in America is casinos, number one, pharmaceutical companies, number two, and credit card company is number three. And so yeah, house always wins. Very dirty. Yeah. Credit card company always gets paid. Always gets paid, no matter who the business is. Credit card company's getting a cut. That seems wrong. Seems wrong. Welcome to capitalism. That's what we were talking about earlier. Welcome to capitalism. If you want to do business, it's the only choice you got. So yeah. Ads are getting ready to start. Sorry. Oh, somebody bumped me? I think Scimitar bumped me. Scimitar's right below me. Look at that big guy. He sandwiched me. Who's there above me? Somebody above me there. Who's that? Mako. Yeah, he sandwiched me between the brothers. I'm going to start a pimp business. There you go. As long as you don't charge credit cards, you're good. As long as you don't charge and use credit cards, you're good. My goodness, there's another big old fly in here. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, he's on the outside. Whew. God, he's huge. Like a bird. We're growing bigger here in the Philippines, so Al's pimping hoes and mows. Yeah. Gotta make money somehow. Gotta make money somehow. Ugh. Yeah, that fly really wants in. He's big enough. If he smashed into the window, it might break. Good golly. Yeah, they grow. That's the thing. We were talking about that earlier. Because we don't have a winter season where all the bugs die off here in the Philippines, they just grow bigger and bigger and bigger. The thing is, a fly's life expectancy is not that long. So I don't know exactly what it is, but it's in, I think it's days. And, but yeah, maybe I guess if mom lives for 6 days and gets big and then has really big maggots, and then those maggots, you know, become flies, and they're really big already, and then they get bigger. Maybe that's how, since they never die off, never have to start over. Sorry, ads are on. Talking about flies and maggots. There you go. We've really reached a pinnacle. We reached the top. Doesn't get any better than this. Ooh. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, this belt's taking us a lot longer, Skim. Flies do not grow in size. Well, these ones are super big. So, and actually I remember in America, like in the deep summer, you'd find like horse flies that were like as big as my thumb, and they would sting. Not the dragonflies, the horse flies. And so I always associated if they were big, then they were horse flies, but maybe that's it. Maybe these are horse flies, so they bite. Yeah. 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 Yeah, and that hurt. I would always be out fishing, and I'd always get bit by them. But yeah. The maggots grow. The fly emerges as an adult. There you go. But I thought maybe if they eat really good, they don't grow like the rest of us? Like I said, I think a fly's lifespan is only in days. Like a mosquito. A mosquito has a very short lifespan, which has got to suck. But yeah, so maybe that's it. But they never grow, huh? Wow. So I don't know how these ones get so big. Maybe it's a different breed. Oscalopithecus. Ads are over. Welcome back. We're talking about flies and maggots. We have reached a pinnacle here on the Silver Wolf stream. Miner stopped again.
The asteroid is depleted.
As soon as I went away. And then crickets as soon as I switched back. From Trump to maggots, what a topic tonight. Yeah, we've been all over the board. All over the board. Yeah. Centralized healthcare, politics, maggots. Somebody might say we've been talking about politics the whole time. Maggots. Maggots. Ever watch old movie The Fly? Yep, yep. That was a classic when I was a kid. That was a classic. That was a classic. I've never really been an insect guy. My brother, I have an older brother, and he used to, we had praying mantis was the state bug of Pennsylvania. And we had them, they would hatch in, we had a hedge around our house, and they would hatch in the hedge, and he would let them crawl all over him as the little baby praying mantises. And oh my God, that used to give me nightmares. Because I'm pretty sure that would be the worst way for me to die. Would be covered in bugs. Covered in bugs. Would be like, yeah. No. Can't do it. Yeah. The mantis, yeah. So all three of them. There you go. Yeah, the last one wasn't as popular. The last one wasn't as popular. But yeah, the first two were cult classics. Cult classics. That's what you get for falling in love. Abigail's barking about something. What is she? Oh, maybe my delivery's here. Ugh. Nope. Ugh. That girl, she'll bark at anybody who knocks at the door. It's like, they knocked on the door. We know they're there. I want you to bark when they don't knock on the door and they climb in the window. Can you do that? Actually, Mom's probably feeding her. It's about time. No, she would have already got her fed. It's almost lunchtime. Approaching 11 a.m. here in the Philippines. The original fly was 1958. 1958. I didn't see that. I don't know that I saw that one. That's a little before my time. So that's probably the one I missed then. I was thinking the third one wasn't popular because I had never caught it, but that might be the one that I didn't catch. Black and white, yep. Yeah, I remember there was a couple black and whites when I was a kid, but I'm definitely a product of the color generation. I think I'm going to eject these. Where is Kragan? Hey, he's not too far away. I'll have him come pick up my ore. Come pick up my ore boy. It's probably going to move him too far away from these asteroids. You want to bet? Be just my luck. Yeah, it probably is. Luckily, he's going slow enough. We might be okay. Approach it again. Approach. Quick, 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 quick. Turn around. Nope. Too far away. Damn it. Hate when that happens. What I get for messing around. Gotta do it again. Legomaniax. Man.
The asteroid is depleted.
It's like bad medicine. Oh, stop, 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 stop. Now you're flying away from everything else, you dingbat. Oh, man. Black and White, I seen that one. Help me. You help me? The one with Vincent Price. Was that around the time of Tarantula? I built models of the creature feature monsters. There you go. There you go. Yeah, see, I was never a big one on that kind of stuff. Or it came from the desert. Yeah, those were good ones. Yep, love those. I think Jack Arnold was good. Yep, calling it early. I'll lurk, though. No worries, Lego. Have a good one, buddy. Appreciate ya. The giant ants. I remember the giant ants. I do remember that one.
The asteroid is depleted.
My goodness gracious. Yeah, once we get down to these regular asteroids, they're pretty sketchy. Make a phony reason. Giant ants. I remember that one. Actually, one of my favorites. So my favorite movie of all time is The Shawshank Redemption. That's my favorite of all time. But one of my favorites is The Thing with crap, what's his name? The remake. The remake with
The asteroid is depleted.
my wife says that I remind her. That's what she always told me, is I remind her of him. The one with Goldie Hawn. The guy who's with Goldie Hawn, been with Goldie Hawn forever. Never got married, but they have kids together. Kurt Russell. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Al. I don't know why I couldn't remember that. Kurt Russell.
The asteroid.
Yeah, she always said I reminded her of Kurt Russell, which I don't know why, but of course he's aged. Of course, we all age, so I can't fault him for that. Goldie Hawn has actually had a lot of work done. She's aged too, but she had too much work done. But yeah, Kurt Russell. So yeah, The Thing with Kurt Russell, it's a remake. I think that was another one where the original was in the 1950s. So Love is Blind. There you go. Must be a wrinkle. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yeah, he's really wrinkled now. But yeah, I enjoyed him. I liked him in the Escape from L.A. and Big Trouble in Little China. He was good in a lot of. And then of course, another one is where he played with Goldie Hawn was the Overboard, which they remade later. I didn't like the remake with Anna something or other. But yeah, good old days. The upside down head with spider legs. There you go. Yep. Oh, why did that one stop? Alright, Plague is gone. Working on the Veldspar. Scordite, still quite a bit of Scordite. I'll sit down and watch The Golden Voyage of Sinbad every time it's on. Oh, that is a classic. That is a classic. I'm that way with just about any movie, though. Star Wars. I think I told you guys about that. My brother, my older brother, one who was in the service, he had read Star Wars and had never seen it. And so one day I was home from college for something, and probably over the holidays, and we were sitting there and Star Wars came on, and I was like, you know, so I'm flipping through the channels like, oh yeah, we'll watch this. I watch it every time it's on. And he's like, what movie is this? And I looked at him like, are you out of your mind? What? This is Star Wars. And he's like, oh, I read the book. I've never actually seen the movie. And I'm like, what? So yeah, Raquel Welch. Yeah. Raquel Welch. She was on my list for a long while. And she still looks good. I think she's still alive. Maybe she has passed. I need to check that. Not that the list is worth anything, but I don't want anybody. I don't want somebody that's dead on the list. That's where I got to draw the line. Yeah, she's oof. We talked about that one before. Raquel Welch. She did die. 2023. Damn it. She was 83 years old. Wow. Wow. Yep. All right. Got to get her off the list. Yeah, then she was in. She wasn't in Shawshank Redemption, but they had a poster of her from 10,000 BC. Miss Fuzzy Britches. What about you, Miss Fuzzy Britches? Terry Garr. There you go. Terry Garr is another good one. Yeah. What about you, Miss Fuzzy Britches? You got any answers? She did. She had all the answers. What about you, Miss Fuzzy Britches? Yeah, Raquel Welch. Celia Ward. Celia Ward's still one of my favorites. Though I haven't seen her in anything lately. I still haven't seen my in-game channel one go off. Everywhere. MJB, 1970. That's a blast from the past. That's a blast from the past. 1970. I was 2 years old. 2 years old. Those were probably happy days. Those were probably happy days. Before the weight of society started to weigh me down. 2 years old. Probably around 3 when that started to happen, right? Crazy on you. Blue Gray's on. Where's Blue Gray? I'll be 69 on Saturday. My goodness, Al, I didn't realize that. Excellent. Excellent. Happy early birthday. Happy early birthday. I'll try to remember to wish you happy birthday on Saturday. Happy early birthday. That's a nice respectable age. Nice respectable age. But go crazy. There you go. There you go. Yeah, I don't think I will. The beer here is not up to... I was never a big beer drinker to begin with, but the beer here is not up to the quality that I require. In my college days was when I drank beer, but I might do a fireball for you. Saturday sounds like a good one. Saturday will be right. We're gonna have the Christmas party for the workers on Saturday. So I'm pretty sure I suggested that we buy them beer. My wife had a fit, and I said, well, we got to clear it with the foreman first, and he said for the Christmas party that would be okay. So have a duck fart. Yeah, I'll have to try that one. So yeah, I'll have to try that one. I don't know that I could get Kahlua here. Yeah. G squared, good to see you, buddy. Yeah, I don't know that I can get the Kahlua here. There's a few alcohols that are very difficult to get here. And so... But yeah, I'll have to check. The Crown Royal wouldn't be a problem. But yeah, the Kahlua, that might be. Those kind of specialty ones, like Slow Gin was one that way back in the day, I was a Slow Gin guy, way back. And yeah, you can't find that here anywhere. So, not that I've drank it probably the last 40 years, but 30 years, 30 plus. But yeah, I went through a phase when I was younger. Back when I would drink anything.
The asteroid is depleted.
Let me go crazy, crazy on you. Bum, bum, bum. And I'll pick up some ribs too. There you go. Coffee liqueur. There you go. Yeah, I'll have to try that. Because, yeah, I might be able to substitute something. Yeah, maybe I will. I'll try that for you, Al, in honor of your birthday. That sounds like a good one. That sounds like a good one. I like that idea. I may just go to a bar and order one, see if they can make it. That'll probably be easier than me trying to make it myself. Plus, I won't have to worry about the wife coming down on me if I step out for a bit. If I do it here in the house, she'll probably smell it like a bloodhound. What's that? I'm doing it in honor of one of my viewers' birthday. Leave me alone. Yeah, I think we're taking pants set for the we're serving them dinner and we're doing a Christmas party and we're getting a karaoke machine. And yeah, I don't think I'm gonna film it. And I may film it from the party perspective, but not from the, we're doing it not from the gift perspective. So, but yeah, I try not to publish those things too much. That we really want to take care of the workers. They're doing a fantastic job, working their butts off, and they never go home. So they are actually going home after Christmas on the 28th. We talked about that. They're going home 28th through the 2nd of January. But they really don't want to. Which is funny. They want to keep working. And so, which God bless them. But they're actually going to work over Christmas. So I think we're going to probably do something for them special for that as well. We're going to do the Christmas party. And then I think we're going to do something special for them working on Christmas, so that we can at least take care of them. Because the whole reason they're working is because they want the money to send back to their family. So yeah, so I want to at least reward that. But yeah, I usually try to keep that stuff kind of low key. First one I had was in Alaska at the Red Dog Saloon. Juneau. I have never been, but that is the one place I'd love to visit. My wife will not go. I tried to get her to go on the Alaskan cruise because I heard that was the best cruise. Everybody that cruises said, oh, the Alaskan cruise, the best one we've ever been on. She would not go. Would not go. And so, yeah, catfish and shrimp. There you go. Yeah, and this one there, anytime you have any kind of celebration, the pancetta is a noodle dish, which they sometimes put in there. Sometimes I'll put shrimp, but mostly chicken or pork. But yeah, it's kind of a tradition here. Anytime you have a celebration, there has to be pancetta. So, but yeah, 21 bar, 20 churches. That sounds like it. That's one of the places where it's like sunlight for 20 hours. At one part of the year, it's got sunlight for all day. So yeah. And then darkness all day as well, a different part of the year. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Man, these ones are disappearing quick. Alright, I think this one's about done. Skim. I got all of them targeted, so...
Asteroid is depleted.
And these generics are disappearing quick. Bum, bum, bum. Honestly, though, now that I think about it, I don't know that I've seen a bar around here. Which is kind of surprising, because I was pretty sure there's bars everywhere. I mean, it's kind of the one national pastime. There's prostitutes everywhere. There's bars everywhere. Those are kind of the two, global truths that, you can't get around. Number one, first profession and the first entertainment. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. I know, now that I think about it, I haven't seen one here. I probably wouldn't know what it looks like, though, too, so I probably just have to ask. I'm sure Archie will be able to tell me where one is. Either that or the barangay captain.
Asteroid is depleted.
The barangay captain can probably tell me in a heartbeat. Oh, yeah, here's where we want to go. Here's where we want to go. Time to build a bar, make some money. Yeah, that's the thing here. Like I said, their profit margin is super, super small. 0.001%. And I'm like, yeah, that's too much work for that little percentage. That's probably my American mentality. But yeah, I'm like, plus I'm retired. I don't want to do anything.
Asteroid is depleted.
I sit here and play games and stream with you guys. That's kind of the gist of it. Just actually going over to the lot every day, it's been like, holy cow, wearing me out. Of course, that's probably standing in the sun too. So yeah, that's probably part of that. So I think what we'll do is once we have the house built, I'll have a bar off the back of it. And then I'll just, anytime the neighborhood people come over, but that'll probably really piss the wife off. So Holy cow. They disappeared before I even saw them. How's the fishing? You know, I haven't tried yet. Most of the fishing they do here is with nets. So when I actually mentioned fishing with a pole, they were like, they looked at me kind of strange. But my brother-in-law, not Archie, but his older brother, my wife's older brother, I think he's older than her. I can't remember. They're really close. They're like a year apart. But he actually was out with a fishing pole not too long ago at Archie's place and fishing. And I was like super excited because I was like, really? And she's like, yeah, maybe you take him in. And he doesn't like to speak English. So he's like, yeah, I could go with him. But I said, well, I'll practice my Tagalog and we'll see. But yeah, we just won't talk. We just won't talk. So let me know when you got to shut down, Scamp, and I'll warp us. I'm going to send Kragan over first. We're going to 8-2. 8-2. That should probably get us through the end. Maybe, I don't know. That one was only about an hour, so maybe not. Oh, we got some rats. First rat. Actually, there was one other rat we saw in the other one, but yeah. Got some rats. Want some cheese, rat? Drink beer and fish. No words needed. Exactly. 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 Yeah, that's what I took. My wife's like, I don't understand fishing. I'm like, yeah, you're not supposed to. Just about going out and having fun. Just killing some time. Killing some time. But yeah. But she thought I would be spending some time with her brother, so she was kind of looking forward to that. So I was like, oh yeah, no problem. I always my in-laws are fantastic. I really, really can't say enough about my in-laws. My in-laws are fantastic. I really lucked out. Really lucked out. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna warp to Kragan. Oh, once I find my fleet window, since it's gone. Imagine that. Always gone. Alright, that'll give him a chance to get closer to the asteroids before I warp to him. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here they come. Smell the wine and cheap perfume. When you get to the point where you drink fish and catch beer, you know it's time to go home. Exactly. Exactly. Well, and the thing is here too, the fish. I mean, the fish is kind of the key staple. So, you know, so it's one of those where it's kind of not only are you enjoying yourself, but you're also providing. So yeah, so I see it as good. But like that's what they said. They can't make any money fishing with a pole, so they always fish with nets. But you know, I'm kind of one of those equal opportunity employers, so I'm like, yeah, why not have fun with it while we're already doing it? So. I'm not getting the same boost I was getting before. Yeah. It's weird. It was actually boosted to 34 before. Now it's only boosted to 31. Weird. Alright, I moved. All good. I was just curious. The shadows searching in the night. Alright, cool. Back in business. Back in business. Check again. No, it's back up to 34 now. Thanks. Maybe I just didn't give it long enough to cycle. It's all good. I moved closer, so it was alright. I probably should have been closer anyway than pushing the limit. Pushing the limit. Always pushing the limit. Always pushing the limit. But thanks for that, Scam. I just want to make sure your implant didn't burn out or something. Ah! You've been using it pretty heavy duty lately, so yeah, you never know. That would suck. Your implants could burn out. That would suck. Don't give CCP any ideas. That'll be in the next release. We could burn out implants. Charge them even more. Charge the seller. Charge the buyer. We'll even see if we can charge the middleman. Bow wow. Oh. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe we got to do a vote. See if you guys actually we'll probably do the vote tomorrow. But man, it's got cloudy here all of a sudden. I'll see if we do Eve tomorrow or do something else. Did you guys enjoy the Project Zomboid? I don't know if you guys did or not. I know a couple of the non-regulars did. They were on the server. I think they're still on the server. I was on with my brother this morning. I actually was able to connect to the new server in France really quick, which was nice. I haven't been getting that lucky. Oh. Shut it on. Bad name. Oh. Yeah, my brother-in-law, Rolando. That's Rolando. He drives a tricycle, and so he's got a he works pretty hard. So he drives kids to school early in the morning, and then pretty much takes people wherever they need to go during the day. Lines up with all the other tricycles, waits for somebody to need a tricycle, which is kind of a crap, and then I think he drives the kids home in the afternoons and the evenings, and so yeah, so when he got a day off, he went to Archie's and did some fishing, so that was his kind of relaxation. So not my cup of tea. That's okay. Arc Raiders looks interesting. Yeah, Arc Raiders is looking pretty good, though I'm waiting on it to come down in price. As you guys know, I'm as cheap as they come, and the $40 games. So I'm like, yeah. See if they do a Christmas sale, and then we'll talk. But yeah, Narcos has been doing that one a lot. So, and he gets killed a lot. So, but yeah, supposedly, I guess Project Zomboid actually has a new unstable release out, which we should, I guess, is why everybody's so excited about it. Why it's kind of come up again is it's been in early access for like 13 years, I think. So yeah, so they've been kind of dragging it out, but this new one, I guess, is supposed to be like hopefully the final set of before they go full, and but it's got a lot of bugs, and so everybody was surprised that we were running the older version, which is stable. But I haven't asked my hosting provider if they could actually do do the beta. I think they can, but I think they have to set it up manually, which means it takes a lot longer. And so, but one of the streamers that I watch on a regular basis, they've been doing the build 42, which is the unstable one. He said, yeah, it's if you're on it, it's probably good to stick with it, but if you're not on it, probably stay with 41. But I guess there's been a lot of changes, and so from that perspective, it seems like it probably is something that. But yeah, we were talking about upgrading the server and going that route, and just haven't got around to it. But I was on with my brother this morning. I woke up, go to the bathroom at like 6, and I saw he was online. And so I was like, okay, I don't know if he's connected to the server since I changed the password, since I moved it to France, since I, did everything. And so, but he said he had. I had sent him all the information and he was able to connect, so that's good. He's usually, he's the one that, love him dearly. But he's the really intelligent one that has zero common sense. And so, yeah, so I'm never sure if he can actually figure out stuff when I give him all the information, so. But yeah, he had got connected, but so that was good. But he was still running around getting killed every 5 or 10 minutes. So you're everywhere. I haven't checked my Steam wish list here to see if anything's on sale because we're getting close to Christmas. Kind of surprised they haven't put more stuff on sale. Yeah, there's really not a whole lot on sale, which is kind of weird. Or maybe there's a lot of stuff on sale, just not what I have on my wish list. It's probably more like it, but yeah. And then some of them, the sales are still, the sale brings it down to $40. I'm like, nah, still not. I need it to be, I need it to be a little more affordable. Yeah, they love eating. Say love eating. There's that saxophone solo. Love it. Love it. Bum 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 bum. I don't think I collected the dailies for Kragan yet. I did end up getting my 15,000 skill points. If you didn't pick up your skill points, you have to actually go. Oh, it shows it on there now. The NES store doesn't show up the same way, or at least it didn't on my main. And so I had to go through the menu to get it, which was okay, but I had forgot to do it yesterday when Jerry Can reminded us about it. So what happened? Did not for me this morning. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. On Kragan's, it actually shows down in the bottom corner, but on Falstaff's, oh, now it shows there. So yeah, I don't know what happened. Right. Yep, that's Falstaff. Yeah, it wasn't showing there when I first logged in. So yeah, I don't know. Only shows on my main, yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It didn't show there earlier. It had just the 3 boxes. So maybe they, I don't know. I don't know if that's something they can change on the fly. Or maybe because I've gone to it now, it added it back in there. I don't know. But yeah, it was weird. I had to go to the menu. So if you click on the main menu, the big long menu, it's on one of the root ones on there. So, but yeah, I wanted to make sure I got those so that I didn't miss them. Thanks, Jerry Can, for the reminder. CCP doesn't give enough free stuff away, so when they give it away, you gotta make sure to pick it up. Kel Welch. Raquel Welch. Pum, 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 pum. Lego. Getting that backfield in really makes a difference. Yeah, it does look like they did it. Does look like they accomplished a lot. Thanks for that, Lego. Thanks for the comment. The wife hasn't seen it yet, so I'll probably watch it with her after the stream. She wanted to watch it last night, and I'm like, yeah. She still looked good in Grumpy Old Man. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, and she had to be what? She had to be in her late 70s then. So yeah, she looked good right up to the end, to be perfectly honest. And I don't think she had any work done. Maybe she did, but whoever she had do it, if she did, she looked good because you couldn't tell. Some of these, like Goldie Hawn and Nicole Kidman, oh, whoever did their work, oh, they ought to be shot.
Asteroid is depleted.
Because, yeah, horrible. Nicole Kidman looks fake. Looks like her face has been fused together. It's like, come on. You think that looks good? I never really thought she was that attractive to begin with, but she pretty much ruined anything with that deal. So some people, they don't want to get old. It's an inevitable fact. Can't be helped. Happens to us all. You Yeah, what else? So yeah, you guys will need to check that one out. It's like I said, I was pretty stoked. I was pretty stoked. But yeah, I'll do another one. Probably tomorrow. I'll go over again tomorrow. I think that's the plan. Of course, the plans here change pretty rapidly, but yeah, the plan is I'll go over tomorrow and do another one. Because the 4 days was a little too long. But going over every day, it's like I find myself getting disappointed that they didn't accomplish more. And I'm like, that's not right. They're busting their rear ends. But yeah, we've had several people now that have come to us and said, "Hey, that's the fastest we've ever seen a house go up. Those guys they're doing an awesome job." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Appreciate you guys saying so, but yeah." And the foreman, he's on them. He's actually got them organized into groups. So he's got one group working on the beams. He's got one group working on the adding the new columns, putting in the column footers, and getting the columns put up, and then he's got another group that's actually pouring the columns that the second group already put in. So yeah, they're moving. They're moving really quick. In fact, it seems like the bottleneck is the backhoe guy. So there's only one backhoe guy, and it's a small backhoe, and so they're thinking they need to get a larger backhoe so that he can keep up. And it was down for 3 days because it had an oil leak, and so but the backhoe is actually owned by a third-party contractor that my engineer has hired. And so the driver of the backhoe is his employee, not the engineer's employee. So yeah, so he doesn't quite take care of him the same way the engineer takes care of his people. So and I think he's made some comments to the effect of, "Hey, maybe I could switch and work for you guys." Well, technically you are working for us. But he's like, "Yeah, but I think he's talked to Archie about it, and so." But yeah, that's kind of funny. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to poach somebody else's employee. I don't want to be responsible for that. But then again, I want them to have every opportunity they can. So, but yeah, it's kind of funny. There's also been several people from the neighborhood that have come around and asked the foreman if they're hiring because they would like a job. And he said, "Nope, we already got our own crew." And so then they're bringing, yeah, the Lipa job. They have a job in Lipa that's just about done. They're just finishing up. And that's where they're bringing the guys from. So yeah, when they come back on January 2nd, I think there's 12 or 13 there now. When they get back on January 2nd after the holiday, there will be 20 workers. So not counting the engineer and the foreman. So yeah, so I can't imagine. I'm wondering if that's going to be more of a they'll be in each other's way at that point. But like I said, these guys are so organized. They are doing a fantastic job. And you'll see on the video, the foreman was actually doing some work. He had to fix the bending table. So they bend all that rebar that you guys see there by hand, and they use a table with pegs on it to bend it. And I guess it got broke because it just takes a lot of wear and tear. And so they got Archie. His profession before was a welder, and so he actually rented a welding iron and got some welding rods and brought them over, and they were welding the bending table back together so that they could, because they were like, yeah, this is cutting into our productivity because we're not able to make. Yeah, so I guess there's another group working on making the new columns. So there's always columns available for the guys that are putting the columns up. And so, but yeah, they're about to, like I said in the video, I think they're at 25 columns that they have up, and there's 34, 35 in the house. So they really only have like 10 more. But then the beams are made the same way. The beams are actually almost identical to the columns. And so they're just horizontal instead of vertical. And so, yeah, so I guess they're going to be building those for quite a while because there are a ton of those. And so, yeah, all the way around the house, and then between each of the walls, there'll be beams. And so yeah, all the columns are connected by beams at the lower end, and then once the walls build up at the top end as well. So, the top side. So, And then the flat roof, we have a concrete roof that's flat. It's slightly sloped, but mostly so we can put the solar panels on it. Plus, it's less maintenance for the long run. If you get one of the metal roofs, because we're so close to the ocean, the metal roofs, they deteriorate very quickly. And so so the concrete roof seems to be a better choice. So it's more expensive, but less maintenance in the long run. So yeah, so we've been, and the wife wanted a flat roof anyway. So, and I kind of needed a flat roof for the solar panels. We could put it on a sloped one, but part of the day they wouldn't get full sun. So this is better for us because they'll get full sun all day. So, but yeah. 12-foot ceilings in the whole house. So that should be very interesting. We're almost done this one, Scam. They are disappearing fast. Wow, 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 wow. But yeah, super excited to see it kind of come together. So once they get the lower end beams in, you'll be able to see the kind of outline of a lot of the rooms. And so that'll help with some of it. But yeah, pretty excited. Blue Gray, good to see you, buddy. Apologize, I didn't see you pop in there. Gareatron, are you in a null alliance? I am not. We are mining here in high sec. So this is a weekly event that we do every Wednesday night, American time, Thursday morning here in the Philippines. Everybody's welcome. If you want to join us, you're welcome. But yeah, no, we are not. I very rarely get the null. I think I went to null in order to pick up the Pioneer blueprints and the efficiency crystal blueprints, but that was it. And I actually got ganked while I was in nullsec on one of my characters. So yeah. So yeah, I did get the blueprints home eventually, but yeah. I guess I wasn't ganked. I was in their space and they enforced it. So yeah. No, it's very risky. Yes, yes. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. We would really like to get the ore miners, the strip miners made by ore, the corporation ore, and but unfortunately, you got to get those through loyalty points or buy them at the exorbitant price off of the market, and we're trying to get those loyalty points. That's all in null. So yeah. And Hulk's expensive. Yeah, Hulk's expensive. That's a bit. I've lost a couple, and yeah, I build them myself, so that cuts down on the cost. But even then, that loss hurts. So sorry about that. But yeah, nullsec,
Thank you.
yeah, they're crazy. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. But yeah, I lost a pro raider, what I had down there, which is one of the ones I build fairly regularly. So it wasn't a big loss for me, other than it was the first pro raider I've ever lost at a gate camp. So yeah, I was in one of my low level alts and it kind of backfired. So he didn't have the skills necessary to get away, and I also Actually didn't do the right sequence to try and get away. I thought I had got away, and it's funny. I think somebody clipped it. But yeah, I said, I'm away, still undefeated. And I was not away. He had warped me. And yeah, it was an epic fail. It was definitely an epic fail. And so yeah, it was pretty funny. But it was all good. All good. All part of the game. But yeah, I don't go to Null very often. I heard a lot of my viewers are in Null Sec Corps, so. Still rock and roll to me. Boom. Man, didn't even tell me it stopped. Have you ever tried a porpoise with mining drones? Yes, we did it the other day for the mining event, for the Winter Nexus event. We had a porpoise out. The ice miners, the ice mining drones are horrible. But normally we boost here. One of my viewers, Scimitar, he's got an orc out here, and that gives the best boost. So, but the porpoise we've used on occasion as well, and they work good. They're a nice. Sorry, ads are on. I'll continue it after the ads unless you can hear me. But yeah, they're a nice alternative. Inventory, I think we're going to have to choose another belt.
The asteroid is depleted.
Next time you feel it, it might make you bad. Yeah, I thought this one might finish us off, but doesn't look like it. That's the end of the plague. Oh. There's my in-game channel announcement. It only took like 3 hours. I don't know how it works after I change the settings, so. But yeah, obviously it's not working as I thought it was, so. So let me switch to the other one for the donations. Don't take money. Don't take pain. Ad breaks over. So yeah, we've used porpoise on a couple different occasions. Gareatron. It works okay. The ice mining for the Winter Nexus event, not so much. The ice drones are really, really slow. So yeah, it's definitely, if you want the boost, it's definitely kind of the first step, because it's also a lot easier to move around. The orc is kind of a beast to fly. Plus it's super expensive. So the porpoise is kind of like a poor man's orca, and it does give pretty good boosts. So, and it does do compression. You can get a compression module for it. Not for the ice. It will not compress ice, but for the event, if you compress, I don't think you can compress the ice anyway. But if you did, it wouldn't get qualified when you try to turn it in. So, have you on TV, so can't use the chat. Would be the same as using a Hulk. No. No, you'll get a lot less than the Hulk. The Hulk is definitely the tier miner, the top tier miner. But if you want to provide boost to other people in your group, then the porpoise will definitely allow that, and that'll increase all of them, which will then increase overall. But yeah, if you're by yourself, stick with the Hulk. Yeah, if you're by yourself, stick with the Hulk, because that's definitely the top tier miner. The problem is it doesn't have a top tier cargo, so it fills up pretty quick. That's what I'm using here with this. This is my main. And he mines, yeah, he mines much, much faster with the Hulk than he does with anything else. But yeah, the porpoise won't come even close, so yeah, there you go. Yeah, if you're doing multi-box, yeah. And even then, I multi-box, I only have 2 accounts. So it's not worth it for me just to boost my one. So, but if you got a group, like we do this one, we do this as a group event. We do every Wednesday night, America time, Thursday morning here in the Philippines. And so, yeah, it's the boost really helped for all the others. But Scimitar, I'm sure, is getting probably a lot less ore than he would if he was doing with the Hulk. So the Hulk is still the best there is. So it's just the cargo hold kind of keeps it going. So yeah, I have my mains here in the Hulk, and then my alt is over here in a retriever. And so he's got a much bigger hold, so I can send my ore over there when it starts getting too full. So it gets us through. I do a 4-hour stream, and so it gets us through the 4 hours, no problem. But we just do high sec mining, keeps it safe. Everybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. We're actually in Ufine, which is in Galente space. You can check to see how far you are away. We're actually going to be quitting here in about another 45 minutes. But you could always catch us next week if you're too far away. A lot of people leave a miner here and then use a jump clone to jump here and mine with us, and then jump back to wherever they normally are. Like I said, I got a lot of null seckers that watch, and so single best use a retriever or Mackinac. There you go. Yep. Yeah, it gives you more cargo space. Probably the Mackinac is probably the, if you're all by yourself, gives you the cargo space plus the higher mining. So retriever has a little bit lower mining than the others, but it works out because of the cargo space. So I have actually been playing. So yeah, I started in 2003. This guy was born in 2003. Let me see if I can bring him up so you can see. Oh, actually, I got you on the wrong one. You gotta be kidding me. Oh no, I'm on the wrong one. I tell you, some days I don't know how I even get out of bed. There we go. Yeah, this guy was born in 2003. So Eve went live on May 25th, 2003. And he was born 4 months later. So I've been around since the beginning. So, but I have not played the whole 22 years. I took several sabbaticals. I actually just came back here about a year ago when I started streaming. So, but yeah. I was in a wormhole corp back in 2003 through 2013, and that got really old. That was like having a second job. So yeah. And actually, that whole corp has all quit and moved on. So yeah. June. Yeah, so you're actually ahead of me. Or no, you're right behind me. Right behind me. Yeah. Yeah, because I'm September 2003. So yeah. But you were about a year within them going live. So yeah. So yeah, it's a good age to count. There was a period there in 2012 through 2015 where they were hunting people that were older because they thought that you had better skills and they could get better stuff from you. And so I used to get ganked all the time back then. The one thing I don't do in Eve, I do pretty much everything except for PvP. I'm not a PvPer. And yeah, so those years were really bad years. I think I quit a lot of times during those because every time I would log on, somebody would jump me just because they saw how old my character was and they thought. But I've been in the same corp for 9 years. We're currently in Slice Alliance. There you go. That's a good one. Yeah. Yeah, always good to find a good corp. So, like I said, I had been in that 20-year corp for 20 years. And when I came back this time, everybody was gone. All the assets were stripped. So, yeah, I shopped around for a bit. But one of the things that happened is I ended up getting in a corp that was charging like 15% tax. And it was taxing my dailies. It was taxing everything. And I was just ridiculous. So I actually made a stream corp that is a zero tax corp. We don't provide a whole lot other than this mining event. And we provide some mining ships. But yeah, at least it's a zero tax corp. So if you just want to hang out in a zero tax corp, it works out. So. But yeah, I took breaks here and there. Yeah, I left a lot. There was several times I left. There were several times I left because of changes CCP made that really kind of screwed stuff up. So, yeah. Yeah, it was like 15% tax, I think is what it was. Blue-gray. But, yeah, it was outrageous. And they did nothing. They didn't do nothing for you. I mean, like I said, it taxed my dailies, which I was like, you got to be kidding me. Which I didn't realize taxed your dailies, but it does. Taxes everything. Every little thing she does is magic. Ah, too far away. By a fraction. I tell you, some days I'm paid to get out of bed. There we go. But yeah, pretty outrageous. Pretty outrageous. Corp I'm in is like 2.5. Yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Yeah, they were just robbing them blind, and I was like, it was funny. One of my viewers had actually recommended the corp, and then the day after I finally said, okay, I'm going to leave this 20-year-old corp, the day after I said I was going to leave and join them, she left because she got in a fight with, I think, somebody in the corp. And I was like, and then I realized it was a 15% tax corp. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, and then they never provided anything for me the whole time I was there. So it was I was pretty PO'd about that. So, yeah. I honestly didn't even realize that was possible. And I thought, okay, they're just charging that. It's not going to affect anything, But when it started taking, they started getting cuts of my dailies, the 15% of my dailies, I was like, no, sorry. You definitely didn't help me out with those. And so, yeah, Saint Disaster, good to see you. I think I owe you a prize, Saint Disaster, though I don't know that I have any left. I could probably give you a frigate if you want. Yeah, I think you won one on one of the games a week ago. I gave something to everybody that was in the race, and you were already gone before I started giving prizes away, so I listed you down, so. But I was giving a bunch of skins away, and all those skins are gone, so. But yeah, I had you on my list. Alright. You may as well start shutting down, Skim. I'm going to go check out the next one. 9-1. Bum, 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 bum. You know I can't without you. Not needed. No worries, Saint Disaster. I appreciate it. Yeah, one of my viewers says we do Oprah prizes here. We try to do Oprah prizes where everybody that shows up gets a prize. So doesn't always work out that way, but that's what we try. So I got some rats here in 9-1. Let me clear them for you. And they're too far away. Imagine that. I'll just launch my drones, and when they get closer, they'll sick them on them. Now it all seems light years away. Alright, cool. Yeah, just let me know when you're ready, Skim. I'm gonna check and make sure there aren't any drones. Yeah, everybody got their drones. Cool. Those other ones freaked me out. I had already started warping when I saw those drones, the last one. And I was like, oh crap. I stream, sorry about that, Gareatron. Atrion. Oh, I'm having trouble with your name. I'm gonna call it Gare, okay? But yeah, I stream 5 days a week. So, Sunday night, American time, through Thursday night. But if you're here in the Philippines, I'm in the Philippines. I'm an American who retired here to the Philippines back in April. And so, so yeah, Philippine time, Monday through Friday. So, alright, let's warp to Kragan. Here we go.
Warp drive active.
Kragan got rid of all the rats. Man, he is so good. Unfortunately, it's not close to the asteroids, so but that's alright. Wow. Saviek, good to see you, buddy. Everybody in chat gets an orca. Yeah, I don't know that it's quite like Oprah then. Yeah, because I think she gives everybody a car. I don't think it's quite like Oprah then. But yeah, I think everybody, and most of them, everybody got a skin. So yeah. But yeah, thanks, Saviek. Trying to make me a poor guy. Good to see you, Saviek, by the way. Sorry I didn't catch you when you first got in here. But yeah, we do this mining event we used to do it on Monday nights. So Tuesday for me in the Philippines. But we had another group that was actually mining out all the belts right before we got to them. So there wasn't anything for us to mine. So we switched it to Thursday. Wednesday night in America, Thursday here in the Philippines. And it seems to have worked out a little better. But they were out here earlier doing some stuff, so it seems like they moved as well just to try and catch us. So yeah. Gareatron. Okay, thanks for that. Appreciate it. That makes sense. I don't know why I can't seem to do it, but that's probably my biggest problem is I can't pronounce anything here in Eve. So yeah. Saviek, appreciate you, buddy. I do have some new emotes out there that I just paid for here last couple weeks. The non-animated ones are open to everybody, and the animated ones are open to subscribers. So, but yeah, they're pretty good. Guy did a really good job. I'm very pleased with them. So, took me a long time to get the animated ones so that they would load in Twitch, but other than that, worked out pretty good. The same ice field has been here since we started. Seriously? Good job, Al. Well, we said we didn't want to deal with competition, so we left it, and nobody's doing them today. Figures. It's alright. I feel bad always for Scimitar, because I don't think he gets hardly any ice. I noticed that when I was boosting yesterday. I didn't get hardly any ice. I don't mind boosting for everybody, but yeah, in order to try and cover the event, I didn't get hardly any ice, so been that way all day. Wow. Go figure. Just goes to show I'm not always right. That's why I don't gamble. Yeah, that's why I don't gamble, because yeah. Alright. Yeah, some days that's the way it works. But yeah, I retired in April at 57. Worked for a mid-level bank in Kansas City for just short of 25 years. And retired and moved to the Philippines. My wife is from the Philippines, so she lived with me in America for 18 years. I had promised her when we retired we would move back here to the Philippines, and just never thought I'd be able to do it. So, but it worked out pretty good. I only need 200 points to finish the 4th track. I'll do that when we're done here. Sounds like a plan. Excellent job. Yeah, I don't think I'm even close. And the piano, it sounds like a carnival. Yeah, I'm loving it here in the Philippines. I'm not a huge fan of the heat. I'm a winter guy, but yeah, everything else has been working out pretty good. It's got some idiosyncrasies that are a little tougher, but I figured my wife came to America for 18 years. The least I could do is come here for 18 years so she can be back with her family. So, but it is a lot cheaper here. If you're on my Discord channel, we have videos up of the house we're building, which we started less than 3 weeks ago, and it's making great progress. Way better than I had hoped. But yeah, so it's a really good deal, so. Blue Gray's actually watching on his TV, so he's not able to chat, so he's chatting in the game, so I'm responding to him over there. If I can figure out a fit, I can fly. Maybe I can boost and help some to finish their tracks. Oh, yeah, no worries. It's all good. I don't mind boosting. Like I said, I usually don't do the track until the very end anyway, so. Too much competition in these early days. But it does sound like maybe they're starting to piddle out. Or they just don't like you fiend for some reason. I don't know. Which really doesn't make no damn sense. What happened there? That's strange. I only know her name. Bring my drone back before I fly off and leave it. But yeah. So yeah, loving it here in the Philippines. Building a house. My wife's dream come true. And so yeah. And so that's been a interesting concept. But yeah, we're progressing now, so it's taken us a while to get to this point. A lot of paperwork. But yeah. But yeah, if you want to check those out, everything I do here with the stream as well as the land building is on YouTube, so you don't need to join the Discord to see it. But I have links on the Discord in order to show you where the YouTube. But my YouTube channel is the same as this one, BondarJR. And so yeah. They do things a lot differently here than they do in America and probably other countries. So yeah, it's been very eye-opening. So everything here is made of concrete, no wood. I think the doors are the only wood we're gonna have in the whole house. And so, and actually, it's been suggested that maybe we do metal. They have a big termite problem here in the Philippines, which is strange. Because they don't have a whole lot of trees, but I heard the same for Mother's Blue Gray. I heard there was a couple, I think Caviar was one that was talking the other day that, yeah, the loot in the high-sec sites was not really that good. You get the points, which is, you know, not bad. But yeah, the loot wasn't good. If you really wanted better loot, you had to go to low sec or null sec. So the termites ate them all. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. But you would think after they ate all the trees, they would die off. And so yeah, for some reason they avoid the coconut trees. So I'm like, well, why not just build everything out of coconut lumber? But the cocoa lumber is considered a low-grade lumber, so they use that for like the scaffolding at our house where they're building. That's all cocoa lumber that they're using there, and it's not considered good enough to build doors and stuff out of. But I'm like, well, if the termites won't eat it, that sounds like exactly what I want. I guess you could chop through it pretty easily, but I'm like, I'm not really worried about somebody chopping through my door, you know. But more worried about the termites eating it. But yeah. Instead, I think we're going to have a mahogany door. Or my desk here is a custom-made desk made from another type of wood that I can't pronounce. And so, yeah, so it's been interesting. But yeah, I think our doors will probably be made from that same wood. So we had a couple trees of that on our lot, so we were able to collect it before they tore them down. Booga, good to see you, buddy. If you guys aren't following Booga, give Booga a follow. Keep me posted, Booga, if you're going to end up here. I definitely want to see you if you get here. I understand if you don't. It's at airlines, especially when they start jacking stuff around with the prices. That always frustrates me, but hot here today. Yeah, it's hot here every day, but it's actually in the 80s. I think 84 for the high today, so not too bad. But we're about to come out of the rainy season, so once the rainy season ends, we'll be back to 100 degrees every day, so which I'm not looking forward to. So I have a new video up, Booga. Yeah, definitely. My wife's actually excited about meeting you too. So she's never met an Australian, so I said, well, he's just a human being. Yeah, he's special, but he's not special because he's Australian. He's special because he's my friend. But yeah. So yeah, we'll take you out to dinner. But yeah, so yeah, there's another lot video up. It unfortunately took me 12 hours to upload it to YouTube. So I think the video settings on my phone are a little too high, so I'm going to have to adjust those. But yeah, we are so close on the map. Way closer than anybody in America, that's true. So you would think it would be easier. I visited your country. Oh, jeez, when did I visit Australia? I was in Sydney when I visited it 20 years ago, 21 years ago, I think. And I had a fantastic time there. I went to visit for a girl. I met another Filipina there. She was living in Australia at the time, but turned out she was crazy. So yeah, so made the decision between her and my wife an easy one. So get some fine dining at KFC. Yeah, we'll take him out to a nice place. He's going to be in Manila. So we'll take him out to a nice place. I won't force him into KFC. That's the best I got here in San Juan, Batangas is KFC. Don't get me wrong. KFC seems to be exactly like America. So I'm loving it. Which might mean it's the only thing in America that doesn't have a whole bunch of chemicals that are horrible for you added. Because they're not allowed to add them here in the Philippines. So. But yeah, he'll be in Manila, so a lot of good restaurants in Manila. So yeah. But yeah, I mentioned that you might be coming, and she was super excited. Like, she never gets excited hardly about anything, so. But yeah, another house video up, Booga, and like I said, it took me all night to upload it, so yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust the settings. But big surprise in the one from today, so I'm super excited about. So I'm not gonna spoil it. I think Lego saw it, and probably a couple of the others, but yeah, I was like, we got our title, and they put some beams in. Not gonna catch me this time, Spectre. Not gonna do it. So I gotta give you credit. That was a good one. Spectre got me earlier with that one. I thought, man, who the hell's calling me in the middle of my stream? Because it actually shows on Discord that I'm streaming. So it's like, man, that's rude. Leave it to Tangia. I should have figured. Oh, he got me. What, you got me yesterday, or you got me on Tuesday when we were playing Project Zomboid with that scary one. Yeah, that scared the crap out of me. Because that Project Zomboid, the freaking zombies are always sneaking up on me. And, yeah, that one scared the crap out of me. I always forget those ones are out there on Tangia, so yeah. Spectre, let me get you. Actually, I haven't given you a shout out, Spectre. I apologize. I always forget to shout you out.
Asteroid is depleted.
You guys aren't following SpectreVoid, definitely give him a follow. Booga, SpectreVoid, excellent streamers. Definitely give him a follow. Great ones to watch when you're not watching me. So they always stream at alternate times. Actually, Spectre and I sometimes overlap, but the Booga and I never overlap. So such dramatic music on the intro for the video. I sense explosions and spies. Yeah, it's actually music I rejected for my stream. So there's a bunch of non-copyright or copyright excluded music that they have out there. And so I had chosen, I think, 5 or 6 different ones and then put them on my stream. And then figured out which one to put on my starting screen and my ending screen and intermission screen and all that. And And it was one of the ones I had rejected. And so, yeah, so I kind of, when I was going through those, since I knew they were non-copyright or copyright license provided, I guess, YouTube has a fit about that. I wanted to use one of those since I knew without having to try and figure out what's copyrighted or not. And so, yeah, so it was the one that caught my ear, but it's a little loud. And I probably need to redo the intro and the outro to turn down the volume a little bit, but yeah, it was funny because I'm learning the DaVinci Resolve, and so at that time I hadn't figured out how to do that yet. But yeah. Yeah, the whole copyright thing. They always scare the crap out of me with the copyright thing. If we ban you, you're banned for life. Oh. No warnings. One warning. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, let's avoid the copyright music. So yeah, I play music here on the stream, but I have it set up so that it doesn't go to the video on demand, which means it doesn't end up on YouTube. So that took quite a bit of figuring to get set up right, but once it was set up, it all works out good. So that's good. But yeah, appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, there it is. All live broadcasts are put up to YouTube. So yeah. I take out the 10-minute starting screen and throw them up on YouTube, and you can always check them out there if you ever need to. They're all there from when I first started streaming in March of 2024. So yeah, I've been streaming a year, going on 2 years now. March will be 2 years. So I was thinking about that. I need to check exactly what the first day was I streamed so that I can figure out when the anniversary is. But yeah, such dramatic music. Sorry about that, Booga. This one's got a lot of me talking because there was a lot of things that I wanted to clear up, and I actually had to do the talking part. I think I had to make a video of that 4 different times before I finally got it. And if you're really, yeah, there you go.
Did I jump scare you?
Yeah, there you go, Spectre. The he's always trying to get me. Always trying to get me. I think that one probably did get me. But yeah, hey, made me lose my train of thought. So yeah, if you're really noticeable, if you really notice things, you'll notice the pictures in the background that are on my screens. My desktop rotates through pictures of my family and friends and all that kind of stuff. And the pictures actually change from a couple of them. So you'll notice that I spliced the clips in there, but the pictures had changed. And so, yeah, it was pretty obvious that was from a different one. I was like, they might not notice. But yeah. Oh. I never actually expected to be a vlogger. Actually, I never expected to be a streamer, to be honest. But streaming kind of came natural because I play games. When I lived in Kansas City, work all day and play games at night after the wife went to bed. And so streaming kind of became a natural extension of that. But vlogging is a little bit different because I find myself repeating myself all the time, which is really frustrating. Which I've been told I actually do here as well, but I guess I don't notice it the same way. But yeah, it's hard for me when there's no interaction, just talking to myself, which I do on a regular basis. That's never a problem. I just don't usually pay attention to what I'm saying, so if I'm repeating myself, I don't notice. So, but now that I'm videoing it, it's like, man, that's not right. So I have to edit a lot of it out. After the 17th time, I said, exceptional work, or Man, it's hot. We're sweating like a pig. Or, you know. I'm like, okay, let me edit those out. This last one I actually tried to do as little editing as possible because I wanted you guys to actually get all of it. The one before, I had my finger in front of the camera for a good part of it. So I did manage to keep from doing that in this one. So that was good. So yeah, I'm learning. I'm learning. Make a vlogger out of me yet. Make a vlogger out of me yet. Ugh. No warning. Just looked it up. Currently 34C here, which I think 38C max was predicted. Yeah, and I don't know centigrade. I should, because the Philippines uses centigrade, but let me get the conversion on that. Celsius? Yeah, Celsius to Fahrenheit. Alright, 38. 38, so 100 Fahrenheit. Wow, that is hot. Holy mackerel. Wow. Yeah, so that's hotter than here. Yeah, we're in the rainy season here. So it's actually been really nice because it's been cooler, but normally we're right around there during the summer months, but right, I think today's high is going to be 84. So I'm wondering because they said 88% cloud coverage, and I'm looking out there and it's pretty much all the clouds are pretty much cleared out, so which means it's probably going to get hotter than they said. But they said it felt like 90 I think. But yeah, 88% humidity. So, which is really the killer here. Is here the humidity. Oof. That's what makes it feel so hot. So, as soon as you get done taking a shower, you're soaking wet again. Especially when you're a bigger guy like me. So, call washer. But yeah, that's pretty hot. You're beating us. But like I said, the sun just came out. Nah, not.
Scare you?
Didn't get me on that one.
I did.
Good God. Nice try, though. Now you can take a shower and be salty. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Though they said it's getting better. So, yeah, and I explained that one in there, too. So that was one of the other ones I wanted to talk about. Because, yeah, so it turns out the salt water is really bad for the concrete. Actually makes it a lot weaker. And so, and if you use the sand from the beaches, where the beaches, you know, the beach sand has a lot of salt in it, that is also really bad for the concrete. So our engineer actually imported the sand from way inland to make sure there was no salt in it. Because we had said, hey, we got, you know, we've actually got a hollow block maker that is literally like 3 houses from us at our place. And we were feeling bad. And he was like, yeah, I'm not buying hollow blocks from him. And I was like, he said, because he's going to be using salt from here, which is going to be really salty, and he's going to be using sand from here, which is going to be really salty, and that's going to cause a lot of problems. Makes the hollow blocks really brittle. And so, and I was like, you know, so yeah, we've been really pleased with this guy because I had no idea. They could have easily, you know, given me all kinds of salt, and I would have no clue until the house fell down on my head. So, but yeah, he's really watching out for us, so I appreciate that. But Spec the Menace. Yeah, exactly. He is a menace. I got some chicken today, Spec. Gonna do up some tenders. There you go. There you go. Now you're cooking with gas. Now you're cooking. Now you're cooking. But yeah. So yeah, we're super, as you probably saw, Booga, super excited about the one item there in the video, that my special feature. I had to fight the wife a lot to get that one, so, but being that, like I said, in the summer months it's always 100 degrees, I could not live here without that. So in fact, we might be doing some streams from the pool in the future. So yeah, because it's too damn hot. Well, the air conditioner does work good here, so I'm sure over there it'll be the same. I'm going to use the same air conditioner, so I'm sure it will. But what do we got? Oh, we only got about 15 minutes. I better start looking to see who we're going to raid out to. Spectre, you getting ready to go live? I owe you a couple. So, Serpent's out there. It's Goonie. Serpent's out there. He's got a ton of people, though. Badman Larry's got a lot of people. I feel bad we didn't raid It's Goonie yesterday. Yeah, there's actually not a whole lot of people streaming. Chaos is streaming, but he's only got one viewer. Really? What happened to Chaos? Maybe he just started. He'll probably join up with Badman Larry, so... I didn't see Spectre out there. The new hot tub streamer. Yeah, I don't think that'll be a positive thing. So yeah. But yeah, it may be a necessity. But yeah, you're right. Seeing a fat white guy, you know, turn into soup, you know. Because that's the pool's actually a little bigger than it probably should be for just the two of us, though her family will probably be over all the time. And but the main reason for that is because the water heats up here pretty quick, and I want to make sure it's at least not bath temperature. So keep it so it helps out a little bit. So there's the frog. There's the frog. Actually, not frog, lizard. It says lizard. Yeah. Abigail's down there barking about something. I don't know what she's barking about. Asteroid is depleted. Of course, I can't see it. It must be that one. Must be that one. So maybe Kragan's. Yeah, Kragan's are all done. Hey, I'm trying to get some sleep here. Yeah, exactly. Spectre, he don't care. He don't care. He's trying to scare the crap out of me, which is working. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, CERN, I don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger's working for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why he's not working, and Obama's not working either. I don't know why the two of them aren't working. I gotta mark I marked down Obama, but I gotta mark down the other one. Schwarzenegger. I couldn't remember which one it was. Man, I got way too many notes here. Obama, there it is. Obama and Schwarzenegger. Yeah, I gotta figure out why they're not working. Yeah. Sorry about that. So, but thanks for being here, CerneTV. Appreciate you. But yeah, I don't know why those for some reason those two stopped working here not too long ago. Trump and the rest of them are all working, but you guys probably just heard Trump talk here not too long ago, so we don't need to hear him talk on here. So, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure why they're not working. They're the only two. I think they're the only two that aren't working that we found so far. So. But yeah, I think we're going to raid out. Let me see here. We do a refresh. I was hoping Spectre was going to go on. Yeah, so Chaos joined up with Badman Larry, so they got more than enough. Serpent Power's got a whole bunch. So yeah, let's do Itzgooney. I feel bad we didn't do Itzgooney the other day. He's got a little more than Shad Squatch, but let's go ahead and do Itzgooney. So... where are we at for the ad? We got 8 minutes for the ad. So yeah, I'll cut out right before the ad so you guys don't get stuck with the ads. But Scimitar, thanks again for boosting. Appreciate you. I don't know that we're going to get this one finished. I don't know. We're not that far away. So. Yeah, I'm not live for at least an hour or two. Okay, that's what I figured. I was looking for you. Try and keep it in the family. Try and keep it in the family. Appreciate you being here, buddy. Booga, appreciate you being here. Booga will be on the night. Tonight, my time. Tomorrow morning, probably you guys' time. He's right around downstream. He's right around downtime. So whatever
is
downtime
this the
is
part
for you
of the
guys.
stream where you get up, do a big stretch?
Oh, I did.
Then watch the episode of Harry Potter where the Borg Queen dances with the Tin Man that just assimilated the Oomps Loompas from Wakanda while Captain Kirk did the hokey pokey at his AA meeting. But he managed to turn himself around and then made out with Princess Leia.
So yeah, the huge delay there, CerneTV, but it did come through. So there you go. But yeah, Booga, I'm gonna end raid up here probably another 5 or 6 minutes. So I'll raid out right before the ads. But appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. We're kind of hoping we would finish this belt, but I don't think I'm gonna get it finished. Not for lack of Scimitar's boost. Scimitar is a most awesome booster. There's a delay on things from Tangia. Yeah, it's weird. So how long ago did you do the lizard and jump scares for 500 seconds? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought so. Check local. Yeah, I see him. That's all right. They're probably hunting that ice one that you were talking about. Perfect timing. Yeah, they're just suspect. They're probably just low. Actually, there's 3 of them, though. 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, only 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them. 5. 5 of them. Yeah. Let's go. All right, Skim. Thanks for the boost, Skim. Why don't you go ahead and shut down? I'll hang out with you just to make sure they don't show up. Thanks, Al. I'd probably go ahead and get your brothers out of there, Skim. I'll hang out with you. I'll take Kragan. Kragan's got the lower skills. I'll go dock him up. I figure they're probably after those ice guys. They're probably not here for us, but no sense taking a chance if we don't have to. I'll hang out, protect your back. At least let them focus on me so you can get away. Are they still there? Yeah, they're still there. So yeah, they're probably in that ice belt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it looks like it's a French corp. Looks like a French corp. Yeah, we'll cover Scimitar so we can get out of here. Make sure there's no problems. Al still mining. To the bitter end. To the bitter end. Yeah, my hold filled up, so yeah, they don't seem to be going anywhere. So yeah, that's weird. Like I said, I wonder if they're in that. Oh, maybe they're in that Omber deposit or the ice field. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of asteroid belts here, so it'll take them a while to get to us if they're going through the asteroid belts. So. We'll get Scimitar out of here, and then we'll dock her up. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Ads are getting ready to go off here, so let me go ahead and thanks for watching. Didn't get to see us get ganked, sorry. And raid, it's Goonie. We'll get the raid set up. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. And we will be back tomorrow. Scimitar's out. I'll wait for the rest of you guys to get out of here. But yeah. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll figure out tomorrow what we're going to do. Whether we're going to do something different or whether we'll do Eve. It sounds like we may do Eve. So yeah, appreciate you guys. Have a great one. And we will see you tomorrow. Thanks again. Inui, good to see ya.